Kurt Warner's got a sore back. He's got very sore ribs. Tom Brady's got a bad ankle. But it's not going to keep either one from playing in this game today, as Joe Murphy of the St. Louis Rams will await the kickoff of Adam Vinatieri. How big of a surprise would it be if the Patriots tried an onside kick in the opening kick? It'd be a shock, wouldn't it? Vinatieri kicks it off. So much for the shock factor. Joe Murphy at the 2. Up across the 10, 15 to the 20, across the 25 to the 30, breaks a tackle at the 35, and put down at the 39-yard line by Otis Smith after a 38-yard return. And the St. Louis Rams will have the ball in excellent field position. They'll start their offensive line of Orlando Pace on his way to his 3rd Pro Bowl at left tackle, Rod Jones at right tackle, Tom Newton, Adam Timmerman, who had 2 Super Bowls with Green Bay and now his 2nd with the Rams, and Andy McCollum at center. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, the wideouts, the incomparable Marshall Faulk, the running back, and 2 tight ends, Ernie Conwell and Jeff Robinson. And they go with an empty backfield for St. Louis, moving from right to left on your radio. Kurt Warner back, looks to the right with time, throws the slant. It's incomplete. Torrey Holt, the intended receiver, he had it for a moment but could not hold on. Let me give you the defense of the New England Patriots. Bobby Hamilton, Brandon Mitchell, Richard Seymour, and Anthony Pleasant across the front. Mike Vrabel, the former Steeler, Teddy Bruschi, the middle linebacker, Roman Pfeiffer, who played with the Rams 3 years ago at right side linebacker. Ty Law, Otis Smith, the corners, Lawyer Malloy, and to Bucky Jones, the safeties for New England.
And they're playing a conventional defense, Howard, which surprises me a little bit. It's all about holding your breath right now and trying to get something done if you're New England.
Warner back to throw, deep over the middle, and it is caught by Torrey Holt. Inside the 45, he went up high and came down with it. Bucky Jones knocks him down with an 18-yard pickup for the St. Louis Rams on the game's first down.
You talk about weathering the storm, and this is right now where we are in the eye of the storm for the New England Patriots. The first pass to Torrey Holt should have been caught. The second one was a beautiful catch. He goes up over the middle, and Bucky Jones not only knocked him down, almost cut him in half.
Bruce to the left, Holt to the right, out of the I formation. They give it to Marshall Faulk on the delay, running to the left, cuts back, slips out of 1 tackle, but not the second. Gets knocked down after a 2-yard gain by Teddy Bruschi. Bruschi in his 6th year from Arizona was a sack specialist in college. He had 52 in his career, but only 15 in his NFL career.
Well, now all of a sudden the New England Patriots are going to change, go to their nickel package on second and long, try to get a little bit more speed on defense on the field. Now, again, remember, let them move it between the 20s, but you have to contain them. Just don't give up that big mammoth play down the field.
Willie McGinnis is in the game as a pass rusher. Empty backfield on 2nd and 8. Hakeem in motion to the right. Warner back, looks to the right. Flushed out of the pocket, rolling right. Doubles back to the left. Has a little room to run. Stops and lobs it down the sideline. It is incomplete. And there's a flag down on the play intended for Torrey Holt. We may have an eligible man downfield.
That's what it looks like, Howard, from up here. We'll see if the officials see the same thing. But you know what I like about this, and as we hear from Bernie Kukar, is going to be pass interference against the Rams.
Wow.
What I like about this, Bill Belichick told us during the week that what he wants to do is get in the face of Kurt Warner to make him come off of his first read. That will give his pass rushers time to get back there and hit Kurt Warner, and that's exactly what we saw on that play. He wanted to throw it, and he had a guy in his face, and he couldn't do it.
Pass interference, number 84 offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
It's on Ernie Conwell, coming off a career year. We caught 38 balls in his 6th year from Washington. And so the Patriots elect to push the Rams back 10 yards. You know, we always talk about it, Boomer. It's not about the red zone for the Rams. Their red zone starts at their own 1.
It really does. And so far, the Patriots are doing okay. They let them have one big pass play down the field. Again, it goes back to just containing this group.
2nd and 18. Warner, deep drop with time. Airs it out. Deep down the right side. Incomplete. There was contact. Torrey Holt, the intended receiver. He had a couple defending him on the play, including free safety to Bucky Jones and cornerback Ty Law.
Okay, Howard, this is that cover 2 defense, and that's where Bucky Jones is going to be deep on the half of that field, and Ty Law read the play and ran underneath the ball, so the receiver had no chance to make a play here. So this goes back to Bill Belichick and his defensive concepts. And these guys are smart. They're mercenaries on this defense, and not a lot of rookies back there, so they've seen just about everything. And so far, they've had nice reaction time.
Antoine Harris in the game is an extra DB, and Ricky Prohl, the extra wide out for the Rams. Quick drop by Warner. Sets up the screen of Marshall Faulk. Flips a tackle at the 45, but dropped at the 40 of the New England Patriots. Lawyer Malloy in on the play with Anthony Pleasant. An 11-yard pickup, but not enough for a first down. And if you're New England, you talked about it, Boomer. They didn't give up the big play. The Patriots D has only allowed one opening drive touchdown in their last 26 ball games.
Great play by Mike Vrabel, who is kind of a hybrid defensive end linebacker. He read the screen to Marshall Faulk. He knew exactly what to look for. He found it, and they stop him. So the New England Patriots win round one.
John Baker kicking to the dangerous Troy Brown. 3 punt returns for touchdowns in his last 6 games, including a week ago. And Baker sends it away from Troy Brown, who lets it hit. It bounces out of bounds inside the New England 5-yard line. Great job by John Baker, and the Patriots will be pinned deep in their own territory at the 3-yard line after a 37-yard punt. No score. Super Bowl 36. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36. Roger Staubach is standing by with Leslie Visser. Leslie?
He is, Howard, and he was just telling me that when he was in Vietnam, he used to listen to Armed Forces Radio, so I'm sure everyone will appreciate to hear from him. Roger, is this emotionally satisfying to you to see what a patriotic Super Bowl this is?
It's fantastic. I think all during the year, the NFL has done a great job of trying to get that balance between the game that they have, but also to unify the country, and it's been fantastic. The whole season, of course, the Super Bowl is, they've gone above and beyond in the Super Bowl to say, hey, thanks, men and women out there that are getting up every day thinking about us and giving their lives for us. So I think through this Super Bowl, they're doing their best to show how much we love the armed services.
Well, what have you seen so far? The Patriots did pretty well.
Yeah, the Patriots have got to really stay in the game early and not give up a big play, and so far, so good.
Back to you, Howard.
All right, Leslie, from their own 3 in an empty backfield, Tom Brady looks to the left, throws the slant, complete to Troy Brown at the 15, across the 20, and a first down. Just like that, the Patriots out from the shadow of their own goal post. A quick slant to Troy Brown, good for 21 yards.
Well, so far, so good for Tom Brady, coming right out, firing a strike to Troy Brown, reminiscent of the Rams offense. So who knows? You never know what's going to happen here today. We'll see who our hero will be at the end of this game.
Copying is the greatest form of flattery. Antoine Smith, a retread for a former Buffalo Bill, the lone setback. Brady pitches wide to Smith, running left, across the 25 to the 30. A big gain of 8 yards on first down, and Brian Young is there to knock down Antoine Smith. After a season where he accumulated 1,157 yards, he had 13 touchdowns, 12 rushing.
Well, Howard, you and I have done a number of Rams games over the last couple of years, and they just kind of speed up everybody. They speed us up, they speed the fans up, and it looks like they've sped up the New England Patriots.
We don't have time to give you the offensive lineup yet, but we'll catch up. Patton to the left, Brown to the right. Second down and a yard, Brady under center. Now checking off at the line of scrimmage and audibilizing.
How about that?
Play clock down to 1. He gets it off. Play fake by Brady. Throws it a strike to Troy Brown across the 40 and a first down. Aeneas Williams is there to make the hit with Adam Archuleta, the strong safety, and a pickup of 10 yards.
Another nice audible at the line of scrimmage for Tom Brady. He fakes it to Antoine Smith up the middle and fires another strike to Troy Brown, this time on the right sideline, a little 12-yard stop pattern, and so far Tom Brady looks pretty healthy to me.
Light, Compton, Woody, and Druzy, and Robinson Randall, the offensive line for New England. Ron Rutledge, the starting tight end, but we'll see Jermaine Wiggins. First and 10, the draw to Smith running right across the 45 to the 46-yard line, where he's met by middle linebacker London Fletcher, a 3-yard pickup. The defense for St. Louis, they started with Chidi Ahadatu at left defensive end, but Leonard Little has come in his place. Brian Young, Jeff Scanina, and Grant Wistrom. The front 4, Tommy Polley, the outstanding rookie from Florida State, London Fletcher, and Don Davis. Williams and McLean on the corners, Archuleta and Herring the safeties. And the Patriots going out of a shotgun on 2nd and 7. Kevin Falk alongside Tom Brady, who takes the snap. Sets up the screen to Kevin Falk, and it is blown up at the 45-yard line by Dre Bly with great penetration and a loss of a yard.
It's a little screen pattern to Kevin Falk to the left side. Damian Woody is the center. He's pulling out. He's got to find that outside guy. Dre Bly is the rolled-up corner in this cover 2 defense that Lovie Smith loves to run for the Rams. And I'm telling you, if Damian Woody just looks outside and picks up Dre Bly, Kevin Falk's got some running room.
Wide to the left, Charles Johnson. 2 receivers to the right, now 3 as they add fullback Mark Edwards in an empty backfield. 3rd down and 8 for New England, moving from left to right on your radio in a scoreless first quarter. Brady takes the shot with his snap, steps up, now looks to scramble, takes off, fakes the pass, rolls to the left and runs out of room. At the 48 of New England, Dre Bly forces him out, excellent coverage downfield by the St. Louis Rams, and only a gain of 3.
Very nice coverage, and Tom Brady's not going to want to make a mistake. He's not going to force it. And again, I go back to the poise of this young man, Howard. He has shown no signs of being caught up in the emotion of the game and making good, solid decisions. And even though he didn't get the first down, at least he doesn't turn it over.
Ken Walter to punt it away to Dre Bly. Walter sends it high in the air. Fair catch called for, and hits at the 2 and goes into the end zone. So we are still scoreless first quarter after a 52-yard punt by Ken Walter. 8:15 to go in the quarter. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36. Well, the Patriots have made a change at free safety. Matt Stevens in for Bucky Jones. We'll see how that unfolds. Warner 2 of 4 for 29 yards. Backfield is split from the 20. The quick throw by Warner is caught along the left side by Torrey Holt. And so far, Kurt Warner has zeroed in, Boom, on Torrey Holt.
He really has. Well, certainly everybody knows in the NFL that this guy is as explosive as anybody at wide receiver. And this time, Otis Smith is bump and run against him. And what they do so well, Howard, is that they read the defenses collectively, meaning that the offensive wide receiver and the quarterback both read them together, and they're on the same page. That time was a little stop pattern against that bump and run.
5 DBs now for the Patriots. Terrell Buckley is the 5th. 2nd down and 2 from their own 28 for the Rams. The handoff to Marshall Faulk across the 30-yard line. Looks to be enough for a first down. Richard Seymour, well, a rookie from Georgia, is there to make the stop.
Now, Howard, I don't know if you saw that formation, but they took left tackle Orlando Pace and they moved him to tight end. They took the tight end, Ernie Conwell, and they moved him to left tackle, and then they ran it left behind Conwell away from Orlando Pace. So I don't know what Mike Martz was doing there. Maybe he was trying to give the defense of the New England Patriots an odd look and see how they would react to it. And they seem that they react okay, even though they gave him a first down. They didn't give him much yardage.
Orlando Pace was injured last week against Philadelphia. His status was certainly questionable. A blitz being shown by the Patriots. Warner back to throw. Out to the left. The catch is made by Isaac Bruce, and he's hit immediately by Ty Law at the St. Louis 34 after just a 3-yard gain.
When we talked to Mike Martz back after that November 18th game against these New England Patriots, he told us he thought that this was the most physical, best prepared team to play against them. And so far in the first 2 series, even though they're giving up some yards, a New England Patriot is right there when the ball gets there, Howard. So certainly we've already seen that now.
First meeting in the postseason between these 2 franchises. 2nd down and 7, Rams from their own 31. They hand it to Falk, running left and tripped up as he crosses the 35 by Otis Smith. He was lined up as a wideout on the right, and almost like a reverse, came back to the left, and the Patriots were there to stop him after just a 3-yard gain.
Out of maybe 8 plays the Rams have run, they've run 8 different formations. They even moved Orlando Pace, their left tackle, to tight end. That time Marshall Faulk coming around, as Howard said, for a wide receiver reverse. So you could see the dilemma that the New England Patriots defense has when you go against an offense like this.
So Bucky Jones is back at free safety. 3rd down and 4 for the Rams. Scoreless first quarter. Falk in motion to the right. Warner looking right. Steps up in the pocket. Hit as he throws out to the right, and it is caught. A great catch by Isaac Bruce, but there's a flag on the play.
Going to be holding, it looks like, against New England.
Now that's what the Ram players are pointing to. Mike Vrabel had pressure on Kurt Warner, but we'll see what this flag is all about. It is defensive holding against New England and an automatic first down. They got the first down anyway after an 11-yard gain.
Holding, 27 defense. That penalty is declined. The result is first down.
It's on Terrell Buckley, the former Dolphin, Packer, and Bronco, now in his 10th year from Florida State. Buckley, one of the few free agents after this season of the New England Patriots. Ricky Prohl in the game as they go with a bevy of receivers in an empty backfield. Now Kurt Warner shifts his people and Marshall Faulk to the deep back from their own 47-yard line. It is Warner rolling right, dumps it out short to Marshall Faulk at the 45 and out of bounds. Chased from behind by Richard Seymour, and a first down for New England for St. Louis at the New England 39. Later in the game, we'll tell you about today's Rolaids moment, brought to you by Extra Strength Rolaids Antacids, with even more acid-neutralizing power to wipe out heartburn fast. How much Rolaids do you think Bill Belichick and his defensive staff go through watching this Ram team on film?
Well, everybody will tell you in the NFL the most difficult thing to do is to try to get a handle on what the Rams are trying to do, because they give you so many different looks, and so far that's all we've seen. All these different formations, all these different shifts, and all these different personnel groups.
First and 10, St. Louis. Warner pumps left, dumps it short on the middle screen to the tight end, Ernie Conwell, and he's dropped for a loss at the New England 41 by Roman Pfeiffer and Bobby Hamilton, two of the former New York Jets on this current New England roster, and another former New York Jet, John Dockery, on the sidelines.
You know, Howard, you and Boomer were talking about formations, and Boomer, you're absolutely right. The offense is dictating to the defense right now. Belichick has used a number of different formations and alignments. Some 5 defensive backs, some 6 defensive backs. Although surprised me like you, he started off in his regular formation, but now we're seeing 5 and 6 DBs all the time.
James Hodgins, the fullback, split away from Falk. Play action by Warner with a lot of time. Throws it out to the left and open. It's James Hodgins, the fullback, across the 35 of New England to the 31-yard line, where Ty Law trips him up about 3 yards shy of a first down. 3:50 remaining first quarter, still no score.
Well, all of this offense is fine. It's all about points. And one thing that the New England Patriots have done great on defense, they've only allowed 19 touchdowns on 49 red zone trips from opposing offenses. That's about 39%, Howard. That's number 3 in the NFL. So you can give them yards. You got to make them settle for field goals.
8 passes to 5 different receivers. Empty backfield as Prohl's in motion to the right. Warner back to throw. Looks right with time. Throws right. Incomplete. Looking for Ricky Prohl, who was well covered by Terrence Shaw. And now it'll set up a 4th down. Decision time for Mike Martz as he try a lengthy field goal, or go for it. Apparently, he's going to try to bring in Jeff Wilkins for a fairly long field goal, maybe 49 yards in length.
Well, the one thing that we have seen, again, I go back to it, the coaching prowess of Bill Belichick and Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator. All of his guys have been where the ball has been. It's almost like they know the plays that are going to be called.
It'll be a 50-yarder for Wilkins. Ricky Prohl, the wide receiver, is the holder. Placement down. The kick by Wilkins has the distance, and it is good. So it's a good news, bad news drive if you're St. Louis, and the same can be said for the New England Patriots. A 3-0 lead for St. Louis in the first quarter. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. There's the kickoff to the always dangerous Troy Brown. Stand by, it is Patrick Pass on the return, and Pass is dropped short of the 20-yard line. They might be thinking about using Troy Brown on kickoffs after that.
I was just going to say that. Maybe that's what they should put back there.
Mark Fields makes the stop, the former New Orleans Saint. 2:59 to go, first quarter, 3-0 St. Louis. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. Howard, David Boomer Esiason, John Dockery, James Lofton, Leslie Vissa. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's go to James.
Thanks, Howard. I'm glad I'm in at least 1, 2, or 3. When, I talked to Lovie Smith about the Patriots offense, and he said, everybody raves about their defense and all the things that they do defensively. He said the same thing applies to this offense. They run a lot of trick plays. They ran 11 reverses during the regular season, so we'll let Boomer decide when to pull the first rabbit out of the hat.
First and 10, New England at their own 19. Troy Brown in motion, and Brady back to throw over the middle. It is tipped and incomplete. Those are the kinds of plays that stand out. You see a tip ball, it's up in the air for a little bit, and you wait for the team with the white shirts to make a pick. It was Brian Young who deflected it, but it falls harmlessly to the turf.
And he was trying to hit Troy Brown on a shallow cross, running left to right underneath the linebackers. Now look, this is where the Patriots have got to sustain something. Even if they don't get points, they got to get some time off the clock. 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the first quarter.
3-0 St. Louis. Brady changing the play at the line, takes the snap, hands to Antoine Smith, running left across the 20, and bulls his way to the 23-yard line. Well, Antoine Smith, who was released basically by the Buffalo Bills, and they got him for about $350,000 or $400,000, but with incentives reached, he made $1.3 million this year.
Yeah, we were talking to Scott Pioli before the game. I guess you could consider him the assistant GM for the New England Patriots, or whatever his title is, and he's very proud of the way that they rebuilt this team by not spending exorbitant amounts of money for their free agents, and Antoine Smith is definitely a symbol of that.
3rd and 5. Brady out of his shotgun, looking at a blitz right at the middle. Takes the snap, throws it out to the left, and Kevin Falk didn't turn around quick enough, and there was a hurry on the play. There was pressure coming from Toyoka Jackson in the face of Tom Brady.
Well, Lovie Smith dialing up the blitz. He's the defensive coordinator for the Rams. Now the Patriots have got to be really careful here, Howard. We talk about momentum flows of the game. That's a 3-and-out by the Patriot offense. Not a good job. So now it's up to their special teams to try to pin the Rams back a little bit further. I don't know how much more the Patriot defense could sustain from this offense of the Rams.
Ken Walter takes the direct snap, and his punt's on the way. It's an excellent kick. Dre Bly drifts back inside the 25 and is hit down immediately. Excellent special teams coverage by Gerard Cherry, and a terrific job by Ken Walter, a 53-yard punt. 2 minutes left, first quarter, 3-0 St. Louis. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One.
For complete Super Bowl coverage, including everything you want to know, both past and present, log on to SuperBowl.com, presented by Miller Lite. Now back to the Superdome and Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36.
Two teams that have come into Super Bowl 36 on a roll. They have each won 8 consecutive ball games.
Well, here we go, Howard. Now all of a sudden, Bill Belichick and Romeo Crennel are going to put 6 DBs on first down with the Rams ball on their own 22-yard line. Already, St. Louis 14 plays, 79 yards. That's 5.6 per play. Kurt Warner, 8 of 11, 72 yards to 5 different receivers.
He has looked primarily, though, at number 88, Torrey Holt, who's lined up wide to the left and matched up with Otis Smith.
They got guys all over the place, Howard. Look at this. Spread out all over the place.
Kroll goes in motion. The draw, though, Marshall Falk across the 25 out to the 28-yard line. A pickup of 7 yards from Marshall Falk, who is a local product from here in New Orleans. Came off his best postseason game in his career last week. He rushed for 159 yards against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, here's another dilemma that the Rams offense presents to you. If you're going to play all those DBs, they're going to run it, and they're going to run it with one of the best ever, and that's Marshall Falk, and you saw right there his ability to elude tacklers.
Again, they give it a Falk straight ahead, dives across the 30, close to a first down, but maybe a yard shy at the 31-yard line. 1:20 to go, first quarter, 3-0. St. Louis. Later in the game, we'll tell you about today's Napa Rush of the Game, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running.
Now be careful here. You got to watch the heavy play-action fake if you're the New England Patriots. It's 3rd and 1, and everybody's going to be all bunched up, but I wouldn't put it past Mike Martz to go for a deep one.
Brian Cox comes in the game at linebacker. And they give it a Falk, sweeping to the left, slips a tackle across the 35. And gets a first down. He got out of the attempted tackle by Brian Cox. And Marshall Falk just stepped through the attempt as Ty Law makes the stop at a first down at the St. Louis 37-yard line.
Well, that's 3 in a row to Marshall Falk. And we remember back last week against the Philadelphia Eagles when Mike Martz wanted to gain control of the game. What did he do? 7 in a row to Marshall Falk. So right now, if you're the New England Patriots, this is the way you want the Ram offense to be operating. You just don't want them going downfield.
2 receivers to the right. Warner fakes the pitch, rolls right, didn't fool anybody, and he's going to be sacked. He's sacked by Bobby Hamilton. He went for play action, but Bobby Hamilton stayed right there and made the sack on Warner back at the 33-yard line, a loss of 4, and the first sack by either team.
And I think it goes back to coaching and being aware and making sure your players on the field know what to expect. And this time, Bobby Hamilton did not bite the pitch fake to Marshall Faulk, stayed at home and made a nice play in the backfield.
Bobby Hamilton, one of these 6 former New York Jets, had 7 sacks this season as we have come to the end of the first quarter with a score, St. Louis 3, New England nothing. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. We're talking about a St. Louis Rams team that during the regular season scored 140 points in the first quarter of games. They had 3 in the first quarter. So that's good news if you're the New England Patriots. The bad news is that you're down 3-0, and the Rams still are able to move the ball.
Got to be careful here now. In 2nd and 15, Kurt Warner will drop back. He'll look down the field like no other quarterback in football. And these are where big plays happen for the Rams in situations just like this.
Torrey Holt in motion, rather Isaac Bruce to the right. It is Warner with a deep drop. Steps up, throws it over the middle, and the high ball is not caught. 2 hands around the ball intended for Oz Hakeem, unable to hold on, and there's a Patriot player slow getting up, but apparently is all right. Terrence Shaw. And Terrence Shaw now back down on all 4s, and they'll have to look at him. Well, we're shaking up on the play, but there's an example. That was a hard ball to catch for Oz Hakeem, but should have been caught, and Hakeem had fumble problems during the year. That's why they took him off punt return.
This would have been a Lynn Swann-type catch in the Super Bowl if he would have caught it. If NFL fans know what I mean, it would have been a tremendous catch. But what I see here, Howard, is that the defense of the New England Patriots are getting into Kurt Warner's first read, making him hold it, and they're getting to him.
3-0, St. Louis. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36.
Howard, it is so exciting. He's here with his high school coach and his dad elected as first-year eligible. Congratulations, Jim. How and where did you find out?
Well, I found out I was in a hotel room, and I had my 5 brothers, my dad, my high school football coach with me, and this is our 15th year. And, of course, it wasn't on TV. I couldn't believe it. So Scott Birchfield, our PR guy, had the cell phone, and he was giving me the play-by-play. Okay, it's down to 11. But the funny thing about it was it took so long for that time to come. I'm like, they're not calling. I started getting nervous, but we found out by somebody relaying the message to me.
Such an honor for you. I know you and your son both have a birthday coming up. Hopefully he'll be with you in Canton.
That's my dream. You know, he has a disease called leukodystrophy, and the average age is only 14 months. He'll be turning 5 years old. So I'm pumped. I just hope he's going to be there in 7 months.
Oh, so great honor for you and your whole family. Thanks. Back to you, Howard.
All right, Leslie, and congratulations to Jim Kelly. And the other 4 inductees will go down that list a little bit. Empty backfield, 3rd down and 15. Warner back to throw with time. Down the middle and on time to Oz Hakeem at the 45 to the 40 and dropped at the 39-yard line. Terrell Buckley makes the stop, but a 29-yard pickup, and the accuracy of Kurt Warner best illustrated on that play.
I think the most important thing you said, though, Kurt Warner with time. The New England Patriots elect to rush only 3, and they could never get back there, and Kurt Warner just stepping up, giving Oz Hakeem a chance to get that deep over pattern. And Howard, that's what I was telling you, when they have situations like that, that's when they're most dangerous because he's not afraid to throw it down the field.
Great accuracy. Warner, a miracle worker, 67% completions during the regular year, and he wants to throw again. A lot of time over the middle of Conwell, knocked it loose. He had his hands on it for a second, and Lawyer Malloy, a Pro Bowler, makes the bone-jarring tackle as we go to James.
Guys, you don't let injuries keep you out of the Super Bowl. Rod Jones, the starting right tackle, had an injured groin. He was out of the ball game. Ryan Tucker went back in, his replacement. Rod Jones is back out on the field. I'm going to have to watch his mobility and whether or not he can handle a speed rusher like Willie McGinnis. Doc, I guess you got some injuries on your sideline also.
And I'm going to talk about it right after this play, Howard.
All right, Doc, 2nd down and 10, St. Louis at the New England 39. 3-0 Rams, early second quarter. Blitz being shown by the Pats. Now they take it off, and Kurt Warner with a quarterback draw inside the 35 to the 34. I haven't seen that kind of speed since you played, Doc.
I was a little faster than that. Come on. You know, the Patriots have emptied their bucket in terms of defensive backs. That time, another dime defense. But Terrence Shaw, the speedster, a guy who could be the spy on Marshall Faulk, just went into the locker room. They're X-raying his wrist, his right wrist, and we'll keep you posted on that. But they're short one defensive back, so it's his arm that they're X-raying. His right arm, Terrence Shaw, defensive back, Patriots.
All right, Doc, 3 of 5 for the Rams on third down. At the 34, Warner back, looks to the right, deflected in the air, incomplete. Richard Seymour stretched his 6'6" frame skyward and knocked it into the air. It is incomplete.
You know, as you watch here, we could see the St. Louis Rams walking off dejectedly because they know that they have to get the ball in the end zone. And so far, the New England Patriots are doing what everybody in America has said they had to do, and that's contain this offense and make them settle for field goals.
And this a lengthy one of 52 yards. Wilkins has hit 1 of 50. Ricky Prohl, the holder, to put it down. Awaiting the snap, it's a good one. Placement down, and Wilkins kick on the way. It is no good. He hooked it left. So the first chink in the armor of the Rams as the Patriots will take over at the spot of the kick, their own 42-yard line. 3-0 St. Louis. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36. Log on to the fourth quarter. Cast your vote for the game's MVP on SuperBowl.com. Your vote counts towards deciding the winner only on SuperBowl.com. Well, last night in the lobby, I went over to Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, and I said, how are you going to beat the Rams? He said, we're going to run it, and we're going to run it successfully. So far, Antoine Smith, just 3 carries for 17 yards.
Okay, the New England defense has answered the call. The offense has got to start to help here. Only 50 yards and 9 plays, so they got to pick it up a little bit.
Short field for the Pats. The pitch wide to Smith running right. Across the 45 to the 47-yard line and a gain of 5. Tommy Polly, a 2-sport star at Dunbar High School in Baltimore. Also played basketball, the rookie from Florida State, and what an addition. He actually beat out Mark Fields, a free agent, for the starting job midway through the season.
Well, you know why Charlie Weiss told you what he told you this week, Howard, is because his offensive line, every single one of them, over 300 pounds, and his running back is 230 pounds. So that's where the mismatch is for the New England offense at that line of scrimmage.
Brady on the handoff to Smith running left out to the 49-yard line. A gain of about 3 on the play, and it'll set up third down and 3 for New England. Their last loss was November the 18th to these Rams. 24-17. They led 10-7 late in the second quarter, but then Antoine Smith fumbled the ball at the St. Louis 4. And the Rams turned that around into an 8-play, 96-yard drive for a touchdown to give them the lead at 14-10, and they were never behind.
Huge play right here for the young Tom Brady, the quarterback of the New England Patriots, 3rd and 3.
Out of a shotgun, blitz coming. Brady takes the snap, looks right, looks left, lobs it, wide open, David Patton, and it's broken up at the last second by Kim Herring, but there's a flag on the play. David Patton had his man beat, but there was help from Herring, the free safety.
Well, this is going to be either holding or interference against Dre Bly, the man who was covering David Patton. He got a great release at the line of scrimmage, and Dre Bly had to grab him to catch up with him. And that's exactly what it is.
Holding against St. Louis, automatic first down for the Patriots. Here's
holding, 20 defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They signaled Kim Herring, but I'm not sure about who the foul is. The foul is probably, you're right, on Dre Bly.
He was covering David Patton, and David Patton got a great release at the line of scrimmage, and it looked to me as if he had to catch up to David Patton, so it had to be Dre Bly. I didn't see Kim Herring came from the middle of the field. Nobody was around him.
You're right. 1st and 10, New England at the 46 of the Rams. The Rams with a 3-0 lead in the second quarter. Brady on the play action. Stops and throws. Incomplete. We're going to get a flag on the play. Something broke down there, and we're going to get holding against the New England Patriots.
I think this is going to be on left guard Mike Compton. It was a heavy play action fake in the backfield. Tom Brady was trying to get the ball to Troy Brown on the right-hand sideline.
Holding. 77 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It is on Mike Compton, the left guard. That's the first New England penalty. We have 11:45 remaining. Second quarter. The St. Louis Rams with a 3-0 lead. It's I mean, we're in the second quarter already, Boomer, and the St. Louis Rams, they're a highly successful offense held to just a field goal.
Well, I think a lot of that is due to the New England defense. This offense, I would like to see more Antoine Smith. Charlie Weis trying to throw the ball on first down. You have to control the clock and pound him a little bit more than he's already done.
Two tight ends, Rutledge and Wiggins, for the Patriots. They pitch it wide to Smith, and he is dropped for a loss back at the 40-yard line by Dexter McCleon. The fifth-year quarterback out of Clemson forces Antoine Smith into a 3-yard loss. Well, this may be one of those games where the Patriots passing game might have to loosen up their running game.
Well, look, Antoine Smith has actually had some pretty good yards. It's the first time he's been thrown for a loss. It was an ill-conceived play, I thought. They tried to pitch it to the right. They didn't have enough guys over there. Too many defenders, and Antoine Smith can make one guy miss. He can't make four guys miss.
Second down, 23. Inside draw to Antoine Smith across the 45, out to the 47-yard line, where London Fletcher is there to make the stop after a 6-yard pickup. The free agency factor for the St. Louis Rams after this year, London Fletcher is one of those that will be free, along with pass rusher Leonard Little and wide receiver Oz Hakeem.
And remember, London Fletcher and Leonard Little are two of the holdovers that were here. They basically discarded almost everybody from this defense last year because they didn't give maximum effort.
Gain is 6, so it's 3rd and 17 for the Patriots.
No interceptions if you're Tom Brady.
Out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Looks to the right, flushed out of the pocket, running for the far sideline, and just throws it away. Pressure coming from Toyoka Jackson, who pressures Tom Brady for the second time. And New England's Ken Walter will have to come in to punt it away.
And again, Tom Brady, I like the movement that he's showing. Remember, he came in here with a high ankle sprain. We have not seen any of the effects of that thus far early in this game, but clearly this offense has got to get back on track to take some of the pressure off of their defense.
Walter takes the snap, sends it high in the air, a hanging kick, Dre Bly fields it at the 12, looking for running room, slips one tackle, and is taken down short of the 20-yard line by Mike Vrabel, the former Pittsburgh Steeler. So a kick of 41 yards, a 7-yard return. 10:08 to go, first half. The Rams with a 3-0 lead. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. He is 9 of 15, Warner, for 101 yards.
That means I can go down there and throw for 300 yards a game. I'm coming back, boys. And I'm cheaper than Kurt Warner is. But
how about go to Dallas with Coslin?
How about this one? St. Louis, 23 plays run already. New England, only 14.
Yeah.
My question being, how much longer can this New England defense sustain this constant attack? Sooner or later, there's going to be a big play here for the Rams.
The rubber band eventually snaps. Warner on the draw to Falk, running up the middle. Nice gain by Falk out to about the 24, where Richard Seymour, who had a terrific year in his rookie year out of Georgia, the 6th overall pick of the draft, 6'6", 305, and turning into a terrific pass rusher off the defensive line.
And you talk about mercenaries down on the field for the defense of the Patriots: Anthony Pleasant, Bobby Hamilton, Mike Vrabel, Roman Pfeiffer, Brian Cox. All of these guys cast off from other teams, and they brought them in here as free agents.
Gain of 5 by Falk, 2nd down and 5. 3-0 St. Louis. They're moving from left to right on your radio as Warner hands to Falk running right. At the 25, Falk goes back to the left of the 35 and out of bounds at the 39. And gets tripped up, maybe out of bounds by Tabucky Jones, but no flags. A 15-yard run for Marshall Falk. Stay tuned with us at halftime for the Amtrak halftime report with Jim Gray. You'll hear from Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, former President George H. Bush, and New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, former Mayor Giuliani, brought to you by Amtrak. For reservations, visit Amtrak.com or call 1-800-USA-RAIL.
You know, Jim Gray's got some juice, doesn't he?
Big
He gets
time.
all the big guys.
He got, you know that hat that Giuliani was wearing, the fireman's hat? He gave it to him. Gave it to Gray.
I don't know what Jim Gray does, but he gets them all.
Yes, he does. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Warner under a rush, throws it out to the right, and it's picked off. Ty Law to the 30, to the 20. Touchdown! Touchdown, New England Patriots! Ty Law off the quarterback pressure. He goes 48 yards, and the Patriots take the lead.
I'll tell you where the pressure came from. It came from Kurt Warner's right side. which means that his right tackle got ran around, and it was Mike Vrabel who got there and forced Kurt Warner to throw the ball before he wanted to. He threw it well behind the receiver. Ty Law was just sitting there waiting for it. What a terrific play by Mike Vrabel, and give our colleague James Lofton a lot of credit for pointing out the fact that they were having problems with right tackle and injuries. So there you have it right there. The first big play of the game is made by the New England defense, courtesy of Mike Vrabel.
Tom Brady, the first Michigan quarterback to start in a Super Bowl, but it is Ty Law, the 7-year quarterback from Michigan, who makes early headlines for New England. The point after is good, and New England has taken the lead 7-3 with 8:49 remaining in the first half. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. 7-3 New England as Yo Murphy awaits the kickoff of Adam Vinatieri.
Well, we're going to have to go down to James Lofton because he alluded too early that right tackle Rod Jones is playing with a pulled groin, and he actually came off the field, and that's where defensive end Mike Vrabel came around the corner.
Kickoff to Yo Murphy. Fields it in stride at the 8, running left to the 15, to the 20, across the 25, and knocked out at the 28-yard line. You well know, having played this game, that confidence starts to build, and then you start to feel a little bit more than you did at the beginning of the game. Right now, the Patriots have to be much more confident than the opening kickoff.
Clearly they are, and I want to go down to James. James, your thoughts on the right tackle Rod Jones on that last play?
Well, Rod Jones is a lot closer to me now than he is to the ball. They have taken him out of the ball game, put Ryan Tucker back in the ball game. We talked about it earlier. You're playing in the Super Bowl. You get a minor injury. You think you want to go back in and play. He just didn't have the mobility to get out and pick up the blitzing linebacker.
Good call, James. Way to go, buddy.
Patriots with a 6-man front. Warner, the pitch to Falk, running left, trying to pick his way for yardage. Trapped down, knocked down by Mike Vrabel, the former Pittsburgh Steeler, after a gain of perhaps a couple of yards. Marshall Falk, it's debatable. If Marshall Falk was the league MVP, if Kurt Warner was the league MVP, Warner won the title. He threw for the second most yards in one season, second only to Dan Marino. I felt he deserved it, but Marshall Falk is the best player in this league.
Yeah, he is the best player, no question, but there has to be a ringmaster of this circus, and that certainly is Kurt Warner. But he, like every other quarterback, desires protection, and if you don't have it, I don't care how good you are.
Hey, almost a fumble there, but Warner picks it up and throws it out to the right. Across the 30-yard line is Corey Holt, and he steps out of bounds across the 40 to the 41-yard line, an 11-yard play, and there is clearly more pressure coming on Kurt Warner.
Well, that time he fumbles the snap. Now, remember, when the Rams had trouble this year, it was about fumbling snaps, throwing interceptions, and making all kinds of careless mistakes on offense. And so far, we've seen an offense that has tried to break out, but the New England Patriot defense has been bending, and they haven't broken. And because of the play of Mike Vrabel, who forced Kurt Warner to throw the ball early, Ty Law takes an interception return for a touchdown. So this defense is giving this Ram offense all it can handle.
Warner, deep drop, sets up, throws it out to the right, and the catch is made by Oz Hakeem across midfield and close to another Rams first down. This is awfully close. Well, the Rams had 44 giveaways during the regular season, but until the pick by Ty Law, they only had one giveaway in their last 4 ball games.
You know, and Mike Martz made a point of it in the middle of the season. Guys, we've got to protect the ball because the only way we're going to lose is if we beat ourselves. And so far, that's exactly the one big play that has led to the lead of the Patriots. Now, again, the Patriots still have to keep fighting them off the way they are.
5-man, now 6-man front for New England. Second down in the yard. Warner on the pitch to Falk, running right. Hit at the 50 and dropped short of the first down by Teddy Bruschi. He took on Marshall Falk head on, and Bruschi, certainly one of the great football names in the league this year, knocks him down.
No, Teddy Bruschi is interesting. We were looking at him before the game on the field, Howard. Now, he's 6'1". You know what size his foot is?
15 and a half, I was told.
That's exactly right. I mean, it looked like he was on skis out there before the game. And, you know, and he's kind of built just like a linebacker should be. Short and squatty with big, long feet. And a big old head.
Third down and a yard for the Rams. And Warner going to throw. Throws it out to the right. High ball is picked off But were his feet in bounds? Apparently not. He was juggling it. Lawyer Malloy went high in the air, juggling it, did not have control. And how about the play call by the Rams on 3rd and short? They throw it as we go to John Dockery.
You know, Alan, I'm standing right there where Lawyer Malloy came down out of bounds, and the problem was he was juggling it as he went up to get it in traffic. He didn't have control as he came down, and his second foot was not in bounds. It was on the white line, so a good call by the officials.
Boy, how impressive is this New England defense? It looks like they just know where the ball's going to be thrown. Nobody has been out of position yet.
Belichick. John Baker, the punter, kicking it away. Troy Brown, fair catches at the 15. An odd fair catch by Troy Brown. He had a good 10 yards of space in front of him.
Oh, what a mistake that is.
Well, it is indeed. It's hard to imagine a guy who's as explosive as Brown would do that, but a 35-yard punt.
And what did Brad Seeley tell us before the game, the special teams coordinator for the Patriots? He told us that the Rams are so beefy inside on the punt team that you want to try to gain returns, that you're really not going to go after it. And certainly they set up for a return there, and Troy Brown made the mistake of electing to fair catch it.
So the Patriots with a 7-3 lead, 6:10 to play first half. Now here, if the Patriots have any desires of winning this game, they have to play like they're playing to win rather than afraid to lose. They pitch it to Antoine Smith running left, across the 20. Smith to the 25 and drives to the 27-yard line. A gain of a dozen yards. Kim Herring knocks him down. Well, golf's first major test fast approaching. And the only place to hear live Masters coverage, get all the scores, is on the Authentic Tournament website, masters.org, and on CBS Radio Sports Westwood 1. Coverage begins Monday, April 8th. Masters.org, real time, anytime.
Well, what I like about the Patriots offense here now is that they're actually taking time off the clock, hanging in the huddle. They got to give their defense a little bit of breather over here on the sideline, and they have to run Antoine Smith. This is where their advantage lies.
5-man front for the Rams. Now it turns to 6. Play action. Brady throws to Edwards, the fullback, out of the backfield, and drives across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Mark Edwards, the former 49er and Cleveland Browns, in his 5th year out of Notre Dame, gathers it in for a 5-yard pickup.
You know, Tom Brady hasn't been on the field that much, so he came out on fire. He was throwing the ball very accurately. They had the ball around midfield. Then Mike Compton had a holding penalty that got him out of that offensive series, so they have to make something happen here.
Any sign of Brady's ankle injury?
No, I haven't seen anything like that yet. No, doesn't seem like it's bothering him at all.
2nd down and 5. He's on adrenaline right now. Hands to Smith behind Edwards, turning the corner on the right side, and drives for the first down marker across the 35, where Tommy Polley puts him down. We'll see where they mark his forward progress. It's right near the first down chains. Appears to be just shy.
You know, when Bill Parcells left the Patriots and he plucked Curtis Martin away from them and brought him to the Jets, the Patriots lost their running game. Remember, they drafted Robert Edwards in the 1st round, who blew his knee out in a beach football game over in Hawaii a number of years ago, and then they picked up Antoine Smith, and now he's been the answer for them.
Inside handoff to Mark Edwards on 3rd and short. He gets enough for a first down. A marked contrast in philosophy. Here the Patriots on 3rd and very short run it. The Rams threw it on 3rd and very short.
Smart, just keep eating up the clock, man. Short the game a little bit.
For the best NFL coverage and the Internet's fastest play-by-play scoreboard, go to cbs.sportsline.com, the home of NFL.com.
You know, I just thought of something. Halftime is going to be about an hour, so they're going to have plenty of rest. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. 3:38 remaining until halftime. 7-3 New England. A Ty Law interception, the biggest play of the half.
Throw the ball down the field.
Wiggins, the tight end, in motion. Inside handoff to Mark Edwards, cradling the ball with both hands, and dropped at the 40 after a 3-yard pickup. Leonard Little, in his 4th year from Tennessee, is there to make the stop for St. Louis. We mentioned he's one of the 3 free agents.
Playing against the Bill Belichick defense when I played, because he gave you so many looks, and it seemed like he was in your playbook and he knew where you wanted to go. And I think that thus far, that's what the New England Patriots are doing to the Rams. But again, this offense has got to get moving here.
2nd down and 7. Brady, the pitch to Antoine Smith, looking to run to the right, sheds a tackler, but is going to be dropped for a loss of about a half a yard by Brian Young and Don Davis.
I wonder if Bill Belichick thinks, you know, we got to go into halftime with a lead. You got to be careful because remember the last time these two teams played, at the end of the first half, the Patriots had the ball on the 1 yard line, I believe 1 or 2 yard line. Antoine Smith fumbled and had to be around the 3 because then right at the end of that half, the Rams went 97 yards and scored a touchdown, and basically that's where they won the game.
And they did it in under 2 minutes with 8 on an 8-play drive. 3rd down and 8, Patriots. They're moving from right to left on your radio, and a timeout is taken by St. Louis with 2:13 remaining in the first half. With a timeout on the field, it's 7-3 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. Coming up at halftime, Leslie Visser will visit with former President George Bush, the father of our current president, George W., and also former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani.
Well, Howard, Antoine Smith now 10 carries, 41 yards. And here they come out now. It's 3rd and about 8, and they are in a shotgun formation, something that Tom Brady has become very comfortable in for the New England Patriots.
4-man front for the Rams. He takes the shotgun snap, steps up in the pocket, and he's drilled back at the 31-yard line by Leonard Little. And Toyoka Jackson for the first sack on Tom Brady, a loss of 8 yards. And the Patriots will have to punt now with 2:10 left in the first half.
Oh, they ran a stunt at the point of attack, and Toyoka Jackson and Leonard Little did a little twist in there. And the right side of the offensive line, Robinson, Randall, and Druzzi did not pick up the stunt, and therefore Brady got it right in the teeth.
Well, we've reached the 2-minute warning brought to you by the Epson Stylus C80. So fast it even wins awards quickly. 7-3 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. For every touchdown scored inside the red zone today, Dodge will donate $500 to the March of Dimes Foundation. Grab life by the horns. That's Dodge. Well, Ken Walter, the punter, 3 kicks so far for nearly a 49-yard average. He'll kick it to Dre Bly, who stands at the St. Louis 20-yard line. A good snap to Walter. And the kick is away. It is a beauty, a high spiral. Fair catch called for by Bly at the 15-yard line of the St. Louis Rams. Another big kick for Ken Walter, the former Cincinnati Bengal, who booms it for 53 yards.
That guy played for Cincinnati?
He's used to kicking. That's all he did was punt.
Rod Jones? That's exactly right. Rod Jones played for Cincinnati, too, and he already gave up a big play for the defense of the New England Patriots. But how about this, Howard? The deepest penetration thus far today by the Rams offense has been to the 32 of the Patriots. The Patriots have not even crossed midfield, only to their 48, their own 48-yard line. So this is danger area right here for the Patriot defense. A 2-minute drill by the Rams, the best in the business.
New England.
New England spends a timeout. Well, the second quarter all year long has been the highest scoring quarter for St. Louis, and conversely, the second quarter for the Patriots has been their best defensive quarter. Once again, we join John Dockery downstairs on the wireless, brought to you by the wireless telephone industry, who reminds you to use your wireless phone safely when driving. Doc?
Howard, thank you. Good news for the Patriots defensive backfield. Terrence Shaw's arm, the x-rays, were negative. He's back in the game. They need his speed in the secondary as the dime defensive back. Also, Boomer, I wanted to ask you, you know, early on they used a lot of nickel, a lot of dime, and it seemed like it was a subtle change, especially on the interception by Law, that they were in their regular formation a number of times, only 4 defensive backs, sometimes 5, and we're coming with more pressure on the quarterback.
Well, all week long, Doc, you know, we all were talking about this, and that's the combination matchups that Bill Belichick presents, and he's done a great job of moving his personnel in and out.
1st and 10 for St. Louis. They fake it wide and give it to Oz Hakeem on an inside handoff, and he only picks up 5 yards to the St. Louis 20-yard line.
And here go the Rams into their 2-minute offense, 140 and counting right now, so they are extremely dangerous right here. You need to get pressure on Warner.
We're going to get a flag is what you're going to get. Well, Mike Vrabel was moving on the outside on the right. He might have crossed the line of scrimmage.
And then you had Orlando Pace react to Mike Vrabel, so we'll see who they call this on. It should be on the defense. There should be no discussion here. It should be on Vrabel.
Bernie Kukar is the referee. He'll tell us about it.
We have a neutral zone infraction, 50 defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Oh, 2 different paths to head coaching jobs. For Belichick, it was a long time coming. He went through the ranks. For Mike Martz, last year was his first head coaching job of his career. A Sigma Cum Laude grad at Fresno State. This is a bright offensive mind. First and 10 for St. Louis. And Warner back to throw over the middle. Ricky Prohl's there. And then he fumbles it after the catch. Gathered it in by Terrell Buckley. Buckley on the return. We get a flag down on the play, and so is Buckley at the St. Louis 40-yard line.
What a great hit delivered to force the fumble, and then it looks like it's going to be on Willie McGinnis on the return, so they'll bring the ball back a little bit. But clearly this New England defense is allowing the receivers to catch the football, and then they're delivering the vicious licks.
There is no fall on the play. There was not a block in the back. No fall.
Oh, Willie McGinnis getting away with one.
So now New England from the St. Louis 40-yard line with 1:20 remaining in the first half and a 7-3 lead, and they still have 2 timeouts to use. A great hit delivered by Antoine Harris knocked the ball loose for New England.
And you remember Antoine Harris was the guy last week who Troy Brown flipped a blocked field goal. He flipped it to him, lateraled it to him, and Antoine Harris took it for the touchdown against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Antoine Harris now is finding the opportunities.
4 wideouts for New England. Brady out of a shotgun. Takes the snap. Throws left to Troy Brown at the 35 to the 30. Troy Brown inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Grant Wistrom knocks him down after a 17-yard gain. And the New England Patriots call a timeout with 1:12 remaining in the first half. They lead 7-3 and looking to add to it. Timeout here, listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. First and 10 Patriots at the St. Louis 24. 1:12 remaining. And now in the first half, and now St. Louis takes a timeout. Well, we've talked about it often, and we've talked about the underdog sometimes has a tremendous sense of urgency to pull off a shocker. Right here, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is CBS Radio Sports at Westwood One, your home for Super Bowl 36. Howard, David Boomer Esiason, James Lofton, John Dockery, Leslie Visser here at the Superdome in New Orleans. 7-3 New England, and the Patriots following a fumble recovery of Ricky Prohl have it at the 24 of the Rams, where it is first and 10, and Tom Brady out of a shotgun formation. Takes the direct snap, looks to the right, throws on target to Jermaine Wiggins down near the 15-yard line. Leonard Little makes the stop. The New England Patriots looking to go without a huddle. That's an 8-yard pickup.
Well, certainly, Howard, they look more inspired and more into this game than the Rams do, and Charlie Weiss doing a good job here, letting Tom Brady throw the short stuff and getting him some completion.
Second down and 2. Again, Brady out of a shotgun. He takes the snap again, looks to the right, throws, end zone, incomplete. Looking for David Patton. A little off target. It stops the clock with 41 seconds remaining until halftime.
Well, Patton going against Dexter McCleon on the right sideline, and Tom Brady's trying to throw that back shoulder go pattern with Dexter McCleon all over Patton. He just underthrew the ball a little bit, but he had exactly the matchup that he wanted. If he were a little bit more accurate, he would have had 6.
David Patton was loading coffee beans 5 years ago.
Well, forget the coffee beans.
And it was regular, not decaf. Patriots only 1 of 5 on third down plays. Third down and 2. Brady takes the snap, the pitch wide to Kevin Falk. Trying to turn it inside, goes outside the 10 and out of bounds. Nice patience by Kevin Falk, who's forced out by Dre Bly. It stops the clock with 36 seconds remaining until halftime, and the Patriots trying to add to their 7-3 lead.
Just a little pitch to the left to Falk out of the shotgun formation. Now Grant Williams is in at left tackle for the Patriots, replacing Matt Light, who went into the locker room with a leg injury. So Grant Williams now takes the role of big-time player in the Super Bowl, who made a great block at the point of attack against Grant Wistrom.
First and goal, New England. In the red zone against the Rams. J.R. Redmond, the lone setback. 2 Tom Brady under center, and now burns his final timeout. He did not like the defense, apparently, that the Rams were showing.
Well, you know what happened, Howard? The down clock got all the way down to 0, so Tom Brady had to take the timeout. So he realized it's better to take the timeout, waste it here instead of losing the 5 yards.
Let's go to James.
You know, you talked about the Rams and their sense of urgency and being better prepared. They really were. They caught the Rams off guard a couple of times, and the Rams right in front of me are having communication problems on who to line up on and who to cover defensively. They've had Leonard Little kind of moving from defensive end to linebacker, and he's missed the guy in coverage, and that's why Aeneas Williams had to burn one of their timeouts to get their defensive alignment set up the right way. Right now, it looks like the chess match is being won by the New England Patriots.
And right now they got a chance to add to it. It'll be 1st and goal, New England at the 8 of St. Louis.
Howard, he could still throw it. He doesn't have to go in the end zone with it because he has enough time, more than enough time to down it on 2nd down if he completes it.
Back to pass, Brady throwing, end zone, touchdown! Touchdown! New England Patriots, David Patton in the right corner. Can you believe what is happening here in New Orleans?
If there has been a hidden problem for the Rams, it has been a cornerback opposite Aeneas Williams. They have been alternating Dre Bly and Dexter McCleon at that opposite cornerback, and this time David Patton runs an out and up, and he basically goes out and he goes up against Dexter McCleon. A nicely thrown ball by Tom Brady. The only one who can make the catch is David Patton, and he makes a circus catch a la Lynn Swan.
And the point after, Adam Vinatieri.
It looks like they might review it, Howard.
As to whether or not he had both feet in bounds?
That's right.
Okay.
And remember, we're inside of 2 minutes here.
And that means that the replay booth upstairs has to make that determination. Well, David Patton, we mentioned he was loading coffee beanbags 5 years ago. He played in the Arena League against Kurt Warner.
The ruling on a field of a touchdown.
I think it was, Howard. It looked to me like it was a touchdown, and they just want to make sure, and I don't mind this. Doesn't bother. It was close.
Well, David Patton, he mentioned he was cut by the CFL. He was with the Giants 3 years ago. They released him. The Cleveland Browns cut him after last year. We're looking at the replay now. And this is clearly a touchdown.
Definitely a touchdown.
Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. Howard David with Boomer Esiason, John Dockery, James Lofton, Leslie Visser, Jim Gray, and Tommy Tighe. And we want to give an extra special welcome to the nearly 1 million men and women in uniform stationed around the world defending our nation. They're listening to us today in over 170 countries and ships at sea via the American Forces Radio Network. And right now, they are celebrating in the North End.
Yes, they are.
In Boston.
And the big question here is going to be whether or not the ball hits the ground. But he clearly has possession of this. This is no way that they're overturning this. And I would bet my paycheck,
you know,
this radio paycheck, not my football paycheck, that they don't overturn this.
Obviously, you have your priorities in gear. Right now, Al Davis in Oakland is betting against the replay overrule.
Now, there's no way they're going to overrule this.
Now, here's Bernie Kukar. He'll tell us about it.
After reviewing the play, it is a touchdown.
What'd I tell you, Howard?
Well, that's why we're paying you this little amount of money.
But you know what? If you wanted a Super Bowl that was going to be exciting, certainly you wanted the team, the Patriots, to go ahead at halftime and have the Rams be the team that is forced to play catch-up in this game. So we have an exciting second half coming up. We still have about 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Vinatieri for the point after. Placement down, and the kick is away, and the New England Patriots have scored 14 points as a result of turnovers. A reminder, for every touchdown scored inside the red zone this afternoon, Dodge will donate $500 to the March of Dimes Foundation. Grab life by the horns, Dodge. 31 seconds to go until halftime, 14-3 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. The New England Patriots have taken advantage of turnovers and lead 14-3, and Marshall Faulk is back to await the kickoff by Adam Vinatieri. 5 plays, 40 yards following the fumble recovery.
Why would you put him back there? I don't know.
I'm just a hired help here, Chief.
I don't know. 31 seconds to go at the end of the first half. You have to watch out for trick plays, certainly, but you're opening him to a possibility of injury, and I don't necessarily know that I would do it, but This is Mike Martz. This is Marshall Faulk's hometown. Give him a shot, I guess.
Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner of the NFL, former mayor Rudy Giuliani, former president George Bush will be our guests at halftime, brought to you by Amtrak. For reservations, visit Amtrak.com or call 1-800-USA-RAIL. Adam Vinatieri for the kickoff. And he drives it deep away from Marshall Faulk. It's headed for out of bounds. Faulk fields it and steps out of bounds. Mistake by Marshall Faulk. That might have gone out of bounds, in which case the Rams would have had it at their own 40-yard line.
That's why you don't put a guy back there that's not used to making plays. That's why you have guys that you teach them and you drill them every day. If the ball goes to the sideline, let it go out of bounds.
Marshall Faulk, as we mentioned, is from here in New Orleans. He used to sell popcorn in the Superdome. He said, I wasn't very good at it because I was watching the game. Well, he wasn't paying attention on that play.
If you get the Rams offense to the 40, clearly they can get it down in the scoring position, Howard, in a hurry. Especially, they have one timeout left, but that was a serious error by Marshall Faulk, who, as we said, is the best player in football.
They're going to take a knee, and they do, and that'll be the end of the first half. Fewest points scored by a Rams team in the first half since week 13 of last year when they beat Carolina. The Patriot fans are halfway home to a shocker. 14-3 New England at halftime. When we return, Jim Gray joins us with the Amtrak Halftime Report. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One.
And Howard, we talked about this before the game. What were the keys? Turnovers and keeping containment of this Ram offense, which is exactly what the New England defense has done thus far.
Well, checking the time of possession, brought to you by Bulova, makers of fine timepieces for 125 years. Rams have the edge there, 16 minutes and 40 seconds to 13 minutes and 20 seconds. It's a nice sponsor identification, but right now it doesn't mean very much.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's all about containment and keeping teams out of the end zone, and we talked about it also. Remember, 32-1, I believe, since 1999 are these Rams when they win the turnover battle or tie the turnover battle. They're 10-11 when they lose the turnover battle, and so far it's 2-0 for the New England Patriots in that area. I don't think the Patriots have really done much offensively. I would like to see them start pounding Antoine Smith. He did have some success.
10 carries, 41 yards. His longest gain was 11 yards, but that just kept that Rams defense honest. But certainly the whole story of the first half is turnovers and the ability of the New England Patriots to capitalize on turnovers. They've done that. They put 14 points on the board, a direct result. The interception returned by Ty Law, fumble recovery, which led to a touchdown drive. And right now, the New England Patriots with a 14-3 lead. The significance there is that no team in Super Bowl history has ever come from 10 points down or more. That's been the Amtrak Halftime Report, brought to you by Amtrak. For reservations, visit Amtrak.com or call 1-800-USA-RAIL. 14-3 Patriots at halftime. Second half kickoff is coming up. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. Once again, we join Doc downstairs on the wireless, brought to you by Wireless Telephone Industry, who reminds you to use your wireless phone safely when driving. Doc's been patrolling the AFC sideline.
And I did talk to Patriots coach Bill Belichick, and obviously satisfied with the first half, likes his defensive toughness, and of course the turnovers. Expects the Rams onslaught, especially Marshall Faulk in the second half. Adjustment, keep the offense out of second and long, third and long. Use the run game to keep them away from those dangerous situations. James Lofton, what about St. Louis?
Boy, you had a wordy Bill Belichick. Well, Mike Martz on this side did not have a lot to say. He said, I can't wait to get the ball back. There's a sense of urgency. You can see it in his face because he knows that you only have 30 minutes left in this ball game. He said there are a lot of things that we'd like to get to offensively. You talk about an innovator, a very aggressive coach. I think that he's going to have to be aggressive, take the shots down the field. They tried that early on in the ball game. This time they must connect with them. Boomer, you and I have been on the wrong end of these battles, and looks like the Rams sideline, they need a jump start for the second half.
Well, they certainly do, James, and you and I both know we've watched these guys throughout the year. They are certainly capable of that. Howard, you talk about the running game and what kind of significance it plays in a matchup like this. You know, New England's first two Super Bowls combined, they had 24 rushes for 50 yards. Tonight, 14 rushes for 57 yards. And as John Dockery just told us, expect a lot more of Antoine Smith in the offense of the Patriots.
Third appearance at a Super Bowl for New England in New Orleans. They lost to Chicago in '86, 46-10. That's when the Bears had that great 46 defense. And Green Bay beat him in '97, 35-21. But speaking to Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, before the game in 1997, it was not the game that was the main story. It was the next address for Bill Parcells, his coach at that time.
It certainly was a distraction that whole week. And you talk about running game again. I'll take it one step further for you, Howard. The first meeting between these two teams this year on November 18th, New England had 20 rushes for only 51 yards. So tonight they're already surpassed that. And a lot of people coming into this game said, there's no way the New England Patriots can run this ball. I expect a heavy dose of Antoine Smith as long as the game stays close.
So Jeff Wilkins will kick off to Patrick Pass. Wilkins approaches and drives it upfield, and Patrick Pass camped under it 3 yards deep in the end zone, and he's coming out. Across the 10, running left to the 15. Slowed up there, still on his feet, across the 20, across the 25 to the 30, and Patrick Pass with a terrific return. Near the 30-yard line, Robert Holcomb makes the stop, but a 35-yard return by the Patriots, number 35.
Well, there's a lot of bite in this underdog, and we can see that Bill Belichick has got his team riled up already coming out of the locker room for the start of this second half. You know, special teams tell a tale of how a team emotionally is doing, and so far the special teams for the New England Patriots has won its battles as well.
Patriots with two tight ends, Rutledge and Wiggins. Tom Brady under center, hands to Antoine Smith running right. Cuts it upfield across the 35 and across the 40-yard line. Goes the former Buffalo Bill out to the 41. Jeff Scanita, who knows something about playing through adversity, released 7 times in his career, makes the stop.
Well, here we go. Again, we talk about matchups. Now remember, the entire offensive line of the New England Patriots, each weigh over 300 pounds. They clearly outsize the defensive line for the Rams, hence the reason why you would want to run Antoine Smith a heavy dose in this second half.
He gets 8 on first down, second down and 2. Edwards, the fullback, in motion. Again, they give it to Smith. Straight ahead, first down across the 50-yard line and drives to the 47-yard line, where Kim Herring makes the stop. We bring you back to what we said in the first half. In speaking with offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss 2 nights ago, I said, why can you beat the Rams? He said, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run it successfully, and that's going to be the key to our win. And so far, Charlie Weiss is playing everything up front.
And right now, there's no reason to get out of that. You have an 11-point lead. You're running the ball effectively. Keep doing it. Keep eating up the clock. That's even a better defense than the one you have on the sideline.
In Rams territory, Tom Brady, play action. Looking long, throwing long, deep down the left sidelines and barely overthrows David Patton, who had a step.
He had a step on Dre Bly, and remember earlier we were talking about the fact that they like to alternate corners between Dre Bly and Dexter McCleon, and the reason for that is because neither guy has really distinguished themselves in the eyes of Lovie Smith. So know this, that the Patriot offensive coordinator, Charlie Weiss, knows that. That is about the 3rd time that we've seen them try to go deep down the sideline against one of those corners.
J.R. Redmond now in the game at running back for New England. They lead 14-3. First 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Tom Brady on the handoff to Redmond, and he is dropped in the backfield. Terrific penetration by the quick Grant Wistrom, who was a star last week in the victory over Philadelphia. That's a 4-yard loss recorded by Wistrom.
Trying to run off the left side, and Wistrom just knifes inside of the tight end and the tackle, and that's Jermaine Wiggins and Grant Williams. Now remember, Grant Williams is in the game because Matt Light, the starting left tackle, went out with a leg injury. So a little bit of miscommunication that time on the left side of the offensive line by the Patriots.
2 receivers to the right, Troy Brown and David Patton. And Mark Edwards, the fullback, out wide to the left. 4-man front for the Rams, the direct snap and the quick screen to Troy Brown. Inside the 45 and hit at the 44-yard line by Polley and Davis, and the Patriots will have to punt it away. Boomer, you brought up the motivational ability of Bill Belichick. He motivated his team showing the finals of the NBA from one year. He has shown boxing matches and a movie about British explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton and his crew overcoming adversity in 1915 when their ship sank after hitting an ice wedge. I mean, talk about a guy who's pulled out all the stuff.
Oh, he took his team on a field trip during summer camp to show them something that happened up in the Antarctic. I mean, that's some sort of motivation right there.
Walter with a high elevator shaft punt, and Dre Bly fields it at the 16. Dre Bly pointing at the Patriots' Matt Chatham, saying that he kind of face guarded him a little bit there, but no flags. It's 14-3 New England with 12 minutes remaining, third quarter. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36.
Thanks, Howard and Boomer. Well, I'm joined by a man who's coached in 6 Super Bowls, so we ought to be able to analyze this. Don Shula. Coach, thanks for joining us. What do you make of this matchup?
Well, I'm happy. You know, I'm an AFC guy going way back. But I thought that New England would have a shot if they could stay close early. And when they held them to 3 points in the first half on a 50-yard field goal, then you know Belichick is doing his magic with the defense. And they came up with a defensive score, and then offensively, the touchdown pass at the end of the first half was just a great throw from Brady and a great catch. So if they can somehow put more points on the board, I think that it's going to be a shootout at the end.
But is the Ram offense one of the greatest you've ever seen?
Oh, yeah. I really enjoy watching them. Mike Martz has just done a tremendous job, and Kurt Warner and their wide receivers, and, of course, the running back, Marshall Faulk, he's a coach's delight because you can do so many things with a guy like Marshall Faulk.
Coach, we just love to talk to you. Stick around. Back to you, Howard.
All right, Leslie, don't let him go away. We want him to come back upstairs with us. We like working with him. Play action by Warner. Flag is down. The throw is caught by Torrey Holt, and he is hit at the 33.
Bring it back.
But there's a flag down on the play.
You're going to bring it back, and here it is. It's holding against the Rams. And you know the interesting thing here when you hear Coach Shula talk about, what does he go right to?
Holding, 84 offense. At the distance to the goal, still first down.
And you know why that's significant? That's Ernie Conwell. He's the tight end. He was lined up right next to Ryan Tucker, who's had problems as well at right tackle, much like Rod Jones did earlier. This time he's holding number 91, Bobby Hamilton, who's already had a sack tonight. But Don Shula talked about Bill Belichick and his defensive magic. A lot of respect for Belichick by all coaches around this league.
Third penalty by the Rams for 23 yards, and now they have it 1st and 18 at their own 8-yard line. Warner rolling right to the end zone, looking to throw it back to the left. He throws, and it is caught by Oz Hakeem at the 20. Slips a tackle there and dives across the 25-yard line. Bucky Jones is there to make the stop, but some sloppy tackling by the Patriots permitted Hakeem to get away for a 20-yard pickup.
Sloppy tackling by number 27, Terrell Buckley. Now, Kurt Warner rolls out to his right and then throws back against the grain to Oz Hakeem, who runs to the middle and then pivots back out to the sideline. And Terrell Buckley's got to make the tackle. A feeble attempt at tackling Oz Hakeem.
Hakeem's third catch for 58 yards. Warner, play action, stepping up, throwing, faking, now throwing over the middle, and a diving catch at midfield, recorded by Isaac Bruce. Isaac Bruce with the catch, and that is his third catch of the ball game, but his longest by far. That one goes for 22 yards.
Well, after the holding penalty by the Rams, now 2 completions, they move all the way out to midfield, and now this New England Patriot defense has got to do something to slow them down. Last week it was Marshall Faulk at the beginning of the second half. This week it seems like it's going to be Kurt Warner, so you got to be careful.
1st and 10 Rams at the 50. Moving from right to left on your radio. Blitz being shown. Warner looking, throwing left, incomplete behind the receiver, Torrey Holt. And a late flag is going to be thrown on Otis Smith. And I'm not sure that was a catchable ball.
Well, you know what this is that back shoulder stop pattern that they love to throw against bump and run coverage.
That defense, that's the first down.
Most of the Rams, in terms of the people that follow them all the time, kind of indicated they would throw away from Ty Law and try to pick on Otis Smith a little bit. Well, Ty Law has an interception return for a touchdown on this game, but that time they did pick on Otis Smith. Or as he's referred to by his teammates as Otis, my man. 1st and 10, and Warner back to pass. In trouble and sacked. Rich Richard Seymour, the rookie from Georgia, drops him back at the 49 of New England, a 7-yard loss, and the second sack of Warner.
You know, I want the perspective of James Lofton down on the sideline. It seems like the Rams have picked up the tempo, James.
Not only have they picked up the tempo, but with the 6 defensive backs that they're putting in, they're getting great depth on their pass drops. So even when they go in zone, they get such good depth, and then those guys are fast enough to collapse on the ball. But you mentioned the stop pattern that they've run a couple times. Well, it's only a matter of time. They call it timeout now, but before they run, a stop and go.
9:52 to go, third quarter, 14-3 New England. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36. Authentic NFL locker room gear. Click on shop at cbs.sportsline.com, the home of NFL.com. Oh, the St. Louis Rams have burned the timeout early, and we are still in the third quarter. And over the course of the year, Mike Martz has been taken to task with some of his quick use of timeouts and his challenges of some plays that early in the game were not meaningful.
Well, not only is it important to have your timeouts for your 2-minute drill at the end of the game in case you need it in the fourth quarter, but now even more importantly, you need timeouts just in case you need to replay a play that comes in question outside of 2 minutes.
Exactly. Well, here we go, and the Rams have it. Second down and 17 at the New England 48 after the sack. Warner back to throw. Throwing deep down the left side. Got a man. The catch out of bounds. Incomplete. Intended for Torrey Holt.
Well, he had Torrey Holt running down the left sideline, but uncharacteristically, he was inaccurate because the ball landed out of bounds, even though Torrey Holt caught it. But clearly, it comes down to the pass rush of the Patriots. And, Doc, what do you have for us?
I was standing right there, and you're absolutely right. Torrey Holt had his man beaten, and the ball was thrown a little too far up, a little too much air, and a little too much outside. So he made a heck of a catch, but also wobbled a lot, but he couldn't come down in bounds.
Warner, 14 of 23, 178 yards. He's been picked off once. That for a touchdown. Warner out of a shotgun, rushes on. Warner has it knocked down. Right in his face was Roman Pfeiffer, the former St. Louis Ram, feeling a little gratification on that play.
Former Ram, former Jet, one of the mercenaries that they brought over as a free agent. And I'll tell you what, again, I look at Bill Belichick, Romeo Crennel's defense, and I think that they have the Rams confused. They're coming from all over the place, Howard, all different combinations. And we talked about it all week. If the Patriots had a chance, it came down to defensive structure and personnel. And Bill Belichick and Romeo Crennel have been dialing up the right defenses all night.
Pretty nice, and you can do that with the luxury of a 14-3 lead as John Baker gets ready to punt it away to the always dangerous Troy Brown. And a whistle.
Well, they're going to take the down here. They're going to take the
game
clock.
offense. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
It's hard to imagine with the transformation of Bill Belichick from the introverted, non-communicative type of guy to the media in particular has now become more outspoken, more outgoing, and has teamed up with the likes of Charles Barkley and John Bon Jovi as two of his friends.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they got here on special teams. Remember last week the Rams almost had a punt block against the Eagles.
Here's the snap, and Baker gets this kick away, and it is a good one. Over to the near sideline, Troy Brown at the 15-yard line, running left, and gets knocked down shy of the 20-yard line by St. Louis's Jeff Robinson, their backup tight end. And that's where the Patriots will put it in play. 38-yard kick, a 3-yard return, 9.5 to play third quarter, 14-3 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better way to get this game going than the way the New England Patriots did it, Howard. And we always talk about turnovers, and 2 huge turnovers by the Ram offense, created by the New England defense, that led to this 14-3 lead by the New England Patriots. And we were in their hotel the whole week, and there was an air of confidence about these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they look like the favorite, the way they conducted themselves. First and 10. For New England, the Rams inching up to the line of scrimmage as Brady hands to Antoine Smith, runs right, breaks a tackle, 25, 30, doubles back across the 35-yard line. Antoine Smith cast aside by the Buffalo Bills, and he has proven to be the best running back they have had since Curtis Martin was running for the Patriots. Damian Woody with a nice block and a 17-yard run.
Well, that particular play is called check with me in the huddle. Tom Brady will tend tell the guys at the line of scrimmage which way he wants to run depending on how the defense is defending him. And he ran away from the strong safety of the St. Louis Rams, hence giving Antoine Smith a lot of running room.
13 carries, 79 yards. The pitch to Smith. They work the reverse to the right to David Patton. Across the 40, 45, 50. Still on his feet and tracked down out of bounds. The St. Louis Rams, Kim Herring makes a saving tackle. But the reverse to David Patton picks up 22 more.
Watching how this game is unfolding and watching every time a New England Patriot gets his hands on the ball, he is not going to be denied. And conversely, their defense is beating the offensive line of the Rams at the point of attack.
Are the Rams right now a team that's shell-shocked?
They are shell-shocked. There is no question about it. And this is where the New England Patriots and Tom Brady have got to get some points. I'd like to see Antoine Smith a couple more times here, Howard.
He's out of the eye, the deep back behind Edwards. It is Smith behind Edwards inside the 40 and taken down at the 38-yard line. A 4 or 5-yard carry, but it was the offensive surge by the offensive line of the New England Patriots that probably got half those yards before Smith even got the ball.
When you're losing and the other team is having success running the football, your offensive linemen love that. They want the ball right on their shoulders. Right. They want their running back running right in behind them. And I'm going to see Charlie Weiss. I wouldn't be surprised if he just keeps calling it all the way down the field.
That's a pickup of 5, 2nd and 5. The Patriots try to build on that 14-3 lead, and again they go to Antoine running right, this time for no gain. Is there self-doubt now in the St. Louis huddle?
Well, still,
and I know there's a quarter and a half left.
Well, you know, it's a long way to go, and you know, look, I'd never take anything away from Mike Martz. He's that creative, and those guys are that good on offense. I think right now, maybe this defense of the Rams is finding it a little bit hard to go as Antoine Smith comes limping off. You know, he had his left ankle taped during that last series.
And they go with the empty backfield in a shotgun formation for Tom Brady. 3rd down and 4, New England.
No turnovers, Howard. Remember, the most important part of this game for Tom Brady, do not turn the ball over.
Here's the snap to Brady. Throws it over the middle and is broken up. Excellent play by Dre Bly. They try to run the little slant to David Patton, and that time the Rams secondary was prepared. And so now the New England Patriots will bring on their punting unit, and Ken Walter, who's had a very strong day, he has kicked the ball 5 times. 3 punts have gone over 50. 2 other punts have been downed inside the 20, and he'll be kicking to Dre Bly. We anticipate the snap to Walter, and hangs this one sky high in the air, headed to the goal line, and it hits in the end zone. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. It turns out to be a net of 22 yards on the punt. 6:40 left, 3rd quarter. The Patriots 14, the Rams 3. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. When you're looking for great value, look for Wrangler's comfortable stone-washed relaxed fit jeans, available at retailers nationwide. Wrangler jeans make a great purchase for any member of the family. Go to Wrangler.com to find the store nearest you. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Howard David Boomer Esiason up in the booth. John Dockery, James Lofton, Leslie Visser downstairs. 1st and 10, St. Louis at their own 20-yard line. Kurt Warner hands off to Marshall Faulk, breaks a tackle across the 25 to the 30, and hit at the 32-yard line by former Jet, Raven, 49er, and Falcon, Anthony Pleasant.
Oh, that's a lot of tread on that tire, but I will tell you this now, as the New England Patriots are electing to go with their nickel defense against this Rams spread-out offense. Expect Marshall Faulk to try to run the ball a little bit more to see if they can calm everybody down. But, you know, the fun thing about doing this game right now is you're looking at the best offense, one of the best offenses ever in football, the Rams. They've only scored 3 points in this game.
Yep.
And the Patriots just feel like the defense is given, and it hasn't broken yet. And here's another timeout by the Rams in the second half. It's just uncanny how careless they can be as they take their timeouts. That's the second one this half.
6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, 14-3 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One.
For complete Super Bowl coverage, including everything you want to know, both past and present, log on to SuperBowl.com, presented by Miller Lite. Now back to the Superdome and Westwood One's exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36.
Patriots led at the half 14-3. When teams leading at the half in Super Bowls They have won 26 out of the 35 previous, and the last team to win a Super Bowl and trailing at the half, the Dallas Cowboys against Buffalo in Super Bowl 28. At the half, Buffalo led 13-6. The final score then was Dallas 30, Buffalo 13, 24 unanswered points.
Maybe even more importantly, 2 wasted timeouts by the Rams already.
Here's Falk running left and taken down across the 35 by Lawyer Malloy. Malloy on his way to his 3rd Pro Bowl this year in his 6th year out of Washington, but Marshall Falk with 6 yards on the run. He has 61 yards rushing in this game.
Well, you know, if you get a heavy dose of nickel, you can also run Marshall Falk against that, and that's exactly what the Rams are going to be doing. And, you know, Bob Wiley, the offensive line coach of the Bears, told me the reason that he's so good is that they only have 7 in the box on defense against this run offense of the Rams.
And we're going to get a flag.
Timeout, New England.
Oh, no, not a flag. It was New England calling a timeout. Boy, the timeouts are being used so frequently, you think each team has 6.5. 14-3 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. Maybe, just maybe, Bill Belichick looked hard at the tape of the Giants game with the Rams. The Rams prevailed 15-14. That's as few points as the Rams have scored this season up to today. Isaac Bruce in motion to the right. They hand it off to Marshall Falk running left across the 45 to the 50 and runs out of room near the midfield stripe to Bucky Jones, chases him out, and as long as you have number 28 on your football team, you are very much in the game.
Yeah, certainly the best player in football, but you know, they're gaining a lot of yards between the 20s. And that's not what they want. And this is exactly what New England wants. Make them methodically move the ball down the field. Eat up the clock. We're now at about 5 minutes to go in the 3rd period. New England up 14-3. It's 1st and 10. Howard, how about this? New England's offense on 1st down averaging 7.3 yards.
Wow.
The Rams, 5.4.
Right now, St. Louis, 1st and 10. Again, they go. Marshall Falk, and this time, no gain. Anthony Pleasant drops him right in his tracks with Bobby Hamilton as we go back to James.
Guys, one of the things that the Rams offensive line does, and it's classic for a team that plays on turf, they do not get the defensive linemen on the ground. That's when Marshall Falk tries to cut back, the defensive linemen are standing on their feet. I watched the play where he ran out of bounds on the previous play. All 22 players on the field were on their feet. But when you watch the Patriots offensive line, they play on grass. They love taking the knees out of the defensive linemen.
So now it is 2nd and 10 for St. Louis. 5-man front for New England. Empty backfield. Warner, quick drop. Now sets it up deep, throws it out to the right, complete to Torrey Holt, and he is taken down hard by Otis Smith at the 45-yard line after a 5-yard gain.
And again, good pressure by the defensive line of the New England Patriots, Willie McGinnis especially, but this time Otis Smith right on the tail of the wide receiver coming across the middle. You go back to what Bill Belichick and Romeo Crennel have drawn up for this game. Seems like these players are right where they need to be. They might not be as fast, they might not be as strong, but they're in the right spot. And that has to do with good coaching and good understanding on the part of the players.
So now a 3rd and 5 for the Rams at the 45 of the Patriots as Kurt Warner drops quickly, throws the slant, and it is intercepted by Otis Smith. He's to the 50, down the sidelines to the 35 of St. Louis, and taken down there by Kurt Warner, the quarterback. Otis, my man, has delivered for the 3rd turnover recorded by the New England Patriots.
Well, what we see here is the St. Louis Rams of the mid-season vintage. This is where they started turning the ball over. They were careless. They were burning timeouts. This was just a little slant pattern intended for Torrey Holt. It looked like he stopped and slipped, and Otis was just standing there. And it was a perfectly thrown ball to Otis Smith because Torrey Holt couldn't come out of his break. So, again, the Patriots, I mean, I don't know, you can't ask for more from the defense of the New England Patriots.
5 interceptions this year for Otis Smith during the regular year. He comes up with a big pick and sets up the Patriots 1st and 10 at the St. Louis 33-yard line. Tom Brady with play action, throws the slant, and it is on target to the St. Louis 22-yard line to Troy Brown. Looks to be enough for a 1st down. I think the measurement is going to give him that, and it is a 1st down signaled by Bernie Kukar.
Howard, you asked me earlier, is doubt creeping in the minds of the St. Louis Rams? You know, from what I have seen in this 2nd half, I would definitely say it has. especially with the way that this defense of the Patriots has played, and now the offense coming out on first down and throwing the football. Very gutsy call by Charlie Weiss.
Kevin Falk, the lone setback. 1st and 10, New England. The pitch to Falk. Looked like he was going to throw. Instead, he takes off and runs with it and gets dropped for a loss by Grant Wistrom. But it looked like he was setting up to throw to Patrick Pass in the end zone, but it is a loss of 4 on the play.
Well, that's exactly what he was going to do. And Adam Archuleta, the strong safety, the rookie strong safety, stayed back there. Smart veteran play. And you know exactly what Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, was thinking about. Let's see if we can get the rookie safety to bite on something. And what a good play by Archuleta.
Antoine Smith comes back, the deep back in an eye. The Patriots looking at a 4-man, now 5-man front by the Rams. Tom Brady checking off at the line. Takes the snap, play fake. Looking left, throws it over the middle, tipped incomplete. Jermaine Wiggins had it and took his eye off it. Started a run before he had control. And it is incomplete, setting up a 3rd and 14 for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, Jermaine Wiggins lines up on the right side of the formation. He runs a shallow cross from right to left. Tom Brady hits him perfectly. And there's no reason for Jermaine Wiggins to drop this football. I mean, it was perfectly thrown ball, perfectly called play, and he should have made the play.
Remember the snowstorm? Jermaine Wiggins played a big role in that victory over the Oakland Raiders.
Well, it's got a roof on this stadium, so we're not going to have any snow. So he's going to have to play in this condition.
No, they're better mutters. Patton in motion, and they direct snap to Kevin Falk inside the 20-yard line and taken down at the 19. Little trickery, doesn't get him the first down, but what it does do, it gets him closer for a shorter field goal try for Adam Vinatieri as London Fletcher makes the stop on the play.
I think Charlie Weiss lied to us, Howard. The offensive coordinator of New England Patriots, we're going to run Antoine Smith. Well, no trick plays. Well, we've seen reverses, direct snaps. We've seen all kinds of stuff.
Haven't we seen that all year long by every team in this league? A lot more than in the past.
And if you're winning, you can call those plays.
Sure, a 37-yard attempt. Vinatieri lifetime in domes is perfect in 23 tries. Vinatieri's field goal has plenty of distance, and it is good. He is a perfect 24 of 24 in domes. And the Patriots have opened up a 2-touchdown lead at 17-3. A reminder that all season long in our broadcast, Southwest Airlines has named a high-flying hero, given the players who exemplify heroics off the field and in the community. Today, Southwest salutes Jerome Bettis of the Pittsburgh Steelers as its highest-flying hero for his good work with SCORE, which helps rebuild and rejuvenate neighborhood parks, and with the Bus Stops Here Foundation, which aids underprivileged children. As a tribute to Jerome, Southwest will donate airline tickets to any destination it serves to the United Network of Organ Sharing on his behalf, so that organ recipients may be united with donor families across the country. Southwest Airlines, known as the Love Airline because of its big heart and warm employees, a proud sponsor of the NFL and the official airline of the Super Bowl. I took Southwest here to New Orleans. Good thing they have more legroom and wider seats. There's a guy about 400 pounds decided he was going to fit into 14A and B.
I thought you were going to say you put on a few pounds since last week.
No.
Hey, how about this? 3 turnovers by the Rams, Howard, have led to 17 points for the Patriots. So right on the money. 3 turnovers, 17 points. The Patriots are capitalizing on the Ram mistakes.
Yo Murphy apparently okay as Vinatieri kicks off. And Yo Murphy to the sideline, picks it up at the 2-yard line. Upfield to the 10, running left to the 15. Stutter steps his way to the 20-yard line and finally gang tackled at the 23. The New England Patriots, Gerard Cherry is there to make the stop. And so now with 1:05 to go, 3rd quarter, New England leading 17-3. And a reminder that golf's first major coming up on Monday, April 8th, when our coverage begins. The only place to hear live Masters coverage on authentic tournament website, masters.org, and also on CBS Radio Sports in Westwood One, masters.org, real time, anytime.
Well, if there's a team in the NFL that can come back from a 14-point deficit, these Rams can do that in about 1:05, and that's what's left in the 3rd quarter.
There's
that's
no
how
doubt.
good they are.
No, they've proven it. Empty backfield behind Warner. Falk out wide to the left as Bruce goes in motion. Warner backpedals, throws it over the middle, complete to Isaac Bruce at the 38-yard line on a 1st down.
Well, one of the things that I really like about Kurt Warner is his resiliency and perseverance. Those are attributes that every quarterback needs to take with themselves into a game. You throw a bad pass, you throw an interception, you got to forget about it. You have to still be able to inspire your teammates. And that time he comes out and fires a strike right down the field, and they move it right out of their zone.
1st and 10, St. Louis moving from right to left on your radio. Kurt Warner back to pass right, now looks to the left, throws it to Marshall Faulk at the 40. Sidesteps his way to the 45-yard line. And a gain of about 7 or 8 yards. That might be the final play of the 3rd quarter, as Brandon Mitchell and Otis Smith combine on the hit. Clock winding down, and Kurt Warner not showing any urgency to get this play off before the end of the quarter.
And folks, if you've just joined us, realize this: the Patriots are winning 17-3 as we head into the 4th quarter. The Rams have already used 2 of their timeouts when they really didn't need to be using them.
17-3 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. Two teams that began the season with 2 different goals. For the Rams, it was Super Bowl or nothing. For the Patriots, they which wanted to follow their 5-11 season with a 500 year if they could get it, and they were the youngest team. They had all these young guys on their team, and they were just trying to get back to being competitive. They have exceeded their expectations after winning the AFC East. They have won 8 in a row, and they are 15 minutes away from pulling off the team that was the 3rd biggest underdog, maybe as big an upset as when the Jets beat the Colts in Super Bowl III.
Well, they're 11-0 when leading after 3 quarters this year. And how good do the Bengals feel right now, Howard?
Is Marshall Faulk, and tackled around the ankles by Teddy Bruschi. Why do the Bengals feel good?
They beat the Patriots in Week 1. So the Bengals aren't that far from the Super Bowl.
Oh, 17 weeks.
17 weeks? That's right.
St. Louis, 9 drives until this one. 1 field goal, 1 missed field goal, 3 turnovers, 3 punts in the end of the half.
You know, if you're an NFL fan, you really have to be happy, because every team in the league legitimately has a chance to come to the Super Bowl, and the Patriots have proven it this year.
Patriots, or rather the Rams, are 3 of 9 and converting 3rd downs. Blitz being shown, and a flag is thrown, halting the play.
There's no play, no play.
I believe it was a false start. There's a flag down on the field.
False start. 45 offense. It's 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Now, in the first meeting between these 2 teams, the Rams were 8 of 14 converting 3rd down. So far tonight, they're 3 of 9.
Well, they're the best in the NFL in 3rd down conversion at 50%. So, for whatever reason, the New England Patriots certainly have had the Rams number tonight. And the Rams, you know, as resilient as they are, they just don't look like they have been in a constant motion. There's been always something that has happened to them all night long.
6-man front for the Patriots. 3rd and 5 as Warner goes back to throw over the middle, and it is caught by Oz Hakeem. 1st down in New England territory at the 43-yard line. Terrell Buckley makes the hit on the play as we go to Doc.
You know, Howard, it's amazing. I'm behind the Patriots bench, and what, Drew Bledsoe is up throwing with Tom Brady, and it's all about team. Bledsoe, the forgotten man, still trying to contribute. And everyone talking to everyone. The offensive linemen talking about what's going on. You know, the defensive linemen, the defensive backs. No selfish players on this team at all. It's all about a group, the whole being greater than the sum of the parts.
Warner goes back on 1st down. A lot of time. Struts out to the right. Stops, fakes it, now being chased. Gets away from a sack, dumps it over the middle of Conwell, complete at the 40, changes direction inside the 35 and dropped near the 33 by Ty Law. They had Warner stuck for a sack, and they let him get away. Bobby Hamilton had his hands on Kurt Warner and could not bring him down.
Well, Bobby Hamilton and Richard Seymour were back there as Kurt Warner only faced a 3-man rush, and that's why he was able just to sit back there and kind of survey the field. And that's not what Kurt Warner's known for. He's known for getting back, making a decision, getting rid of the ball quickly. What that shows me is that still the New England Patriot defense is kind of confusing him.
2nd down and a yard. They hand it off inside to Hodgins, their fullback, who gets the 1st down. We have 12:40 remaining in the ball game. Patriots 17, the Rams 3. Today's broadcast of Super Bowl 36 intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Westwood One of the National Football League is strictly prohibited. With Boomer Esiason, John Dockery, James Lofton, Leslie Visser, I'm Howard David. And, of course, let's not leave out Tommy Tighe and Jim Gray, who handled our pregame and our halftime. Everybody doing just an outstanding job and an absolutely thrilling game to this point. Warner on first down, back to throw, again the slant complete to Falk, breaks a tackle at the 10, and dropped inside the 10 by Bucky Jones to save a touchdown, but a 23-yard pickup, and this now looks like the Rams we have seen throughout the year.
Well, that's the same play that they just ran on the previous play where they hit Azakim. This time they hit Marshall Faulk, and we heard Ty Law in the pregame tell Tommy Ty that Marshall Faulk is so good that he could really become a great wide receiver if he wanted to be. And that's why it's so difficult to defend these Rams. And this is where this defense now has got to bow its back, and it can't give them a touchdown.
First red zone appearance for the Rams today. Warner back, looks left, looks right, sets, pumps, throws, complete inside the 5 to the tight end, Jeff Robinson, who's hit at about the 4, maybe the 3-yard line. Now, the Rams have scored on 37 straight possessions inside the red zone. 27 touchdowns, 10 field goals. The last time they didn't was November 18th against the New England Patriots.
Well, they held the Rams to 24 points. Now, this is, again, as they're on about the 3.5-yard line, Howard, here, where this defense has got to bow their back. And watch out for number 28 right here.
Marshall Faulk lined up off the left shoulder of Kurt Warner, second and goal at the 4, and is Warner back, looking, throwing, end zone, broken up, looking for Oz Hakeem, and Lawyer Malloy came from his strong safety position to knock it away.
Well, he knocked it away because he was reading Kurt Warner the whole way, because Kurt Warner just locked in on Oz Hakeem. And again, this is what happens when you have a lot of time back there. He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. And Lawyer Malloy, as I told you, there's a lot of veterans on this football team. They know where to be and get themselves in position.
Third and goal, Rams at the 4. Faulk alone, setback. Bruce in motion to the right. Warner, quick drop, throws the fade, corner, and it is almost picked off. Nearly picked off by Ty Law, who was defending Isaac Bruce. And now Mike Martz and his Rams are down 14 points with 10.5 to play in the fourth quarter, and believe it or not, Kurt Warner is going to spend a timeout.
That's unbelievable. That's the third timeout in this half.
This completely baffles me, Boomer, and you know about playing quarterback in this league, but I am thoroughly baffled by this decision to call a timeout. Your final timeout with still 10.5 to play, assuming you score on this play, and it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. You're leaving the saddlebags empty. We'll take a break here. Right. It's 17-3 New England. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36. Pro Bowl. Join me, Boomer Esiason, James Lofton at 4:15 Eastern Time. If it's the NFL, it's on CBS Radio Sports and Westwood One. So now the Rams are out of timeouts with 10.5 to play in the fourth quarter, and they're going for it on 4th and goal at the 4-yard line. Kurt Warner, 21 of 33, 252 yards, intercepted twice on this drive, 10 plays, 74 yards in 5 minutes and 49 seconds.
And he almost got picked off on 3rd down by Ty Law, almost got picked off on 2nd down by Lawyer Malloy. These secondary guys are reading his eyes. Now remember, last week, Howard, down here, the same spot against the Philadelphia Eagles, they rolled out and hit Isaac Bruce right in the flat on a little rollout pattern, which could be a safe call right here.
When was the last time you could imagine a Ram team with 3 points with 10.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter?
And no timeouts.
And their timeouts are gone.
We talk about the carelessness at times, and so far today, it's really caught up with them. So right here, a huge play in Super Bowl 36 for these St. Louis Rams.
Another defining moment in the ball game as Conwell goes in motion and Warner backpedals, looks to the left, continues, now rolls to the right, looking to run for it. Flag is down. Warner fumbles. It is picked up by Bucky Jones on the return. Going down the sidelines, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown New England. Touchdown New England, but there's a flag on the play.
I think they're going to bring this one back. It looked like they held Marshall Faulk as he was coming out of the backfield. The defense knew what they were trying to do, flood the zone to the left, and the defensive end to that side grabbed Marshall Faulk, and it looks like it's going to be holding, I would think, against the defense of the New England Patriots.
Keep this in mind. It might be on Willie McGinnis, number 1. Number 2, if it is defensive holding, it's an automatic first down.
What a huge turn of events right here as we wait for Bernie Kukar to kind of sift this thing out. But, you know, I mean, can anything else go wrong for the St. Louis Rams? This could be the break they're looking for right here.
That was a 94-yard fumble return that's coming back.
And that's exactly what it is, Howard. It's holding, and I believe it might be on McGinnis, as you said, holding Marshall Faulk as he was coming out of the backfield. They knew what the play was. They had all the guys over there on defense, but a little too aggressive.
Defense, 55, half the distance to the goal. First down.
It's on Willie McGinnis, and right now the sound you may be hearing above the roar is Mike Martz breathing again, because that would have put this game out of reach.
Well, they had Isaac Bruce, they had Ernie Conwell, and they had Marshall Faulk all going to the left. Those two first guys, Bruce and Conwell, that were there to set picks so Marshall Faulk could come off of them out into the flat. Willie McGinnis knew that, and he actually grabbed Marshall Faulk behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go downstairs to James Lofton.
You know, it could have been double holding on him because Isaac Bruce was also held by Ty Law on the outside. But really what this boils down to, second and goal from the 3-yard line, you elect a pass. Boomer talked about wasting the timeout. Well, on 2nd and 3, I think you run the ball in because you're aware that you only have one timeout. Just poor game management, not really clock management by Mike Martz. You stuff the ball in there. You make a statement. You make your offensive lineman proud by running the football in when you get it down that close.
Well, that would have been the 4th turnover by the Rams, and they got themselves a break in a whole new life. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
This has got to be Marshall Faulk this time, Howard.
Empty, just Marshall Faulk, the lone setback. It is Faulk. No. Dropped for a loss of a yard. Back to the 2-yard line by Willie McGinnis, number 55.
Well, Willie McGinnis better hope that they don't score. He might be a goat up in Boston. That time he comes knifing in along the side, and you have Brian Cox in there. You got Johnson in there, and McGinnis just beats the fullback. James Hodgins to the point of attack and makes a nice tackle on Marshall Faulk. And here come all the substitutions, offensively and defensively.
We talk about the Rams and their ability to score in the red zone, but the Patriots have the best red zone defense in the AFC this year. And we get a whistle, and now the Patriots have to take a timeout because their personnel were not ready. 49 trips by Patriot opponents in the red zone. Just 19 touchdowns allowed. 17-3 New England. This is Westwood One's coverage of Super Bowl 36.
That's right, Howard. I'm with Steve Mariucci. Of course, they played the Rams twice this year, had tough games against them. Steve, what aren't the Rams doing? What do they need to do to get back in this game?
Well, the thing they haven't done very well is take care of the football. All 3 of their turnovers have led to Patriot points. That's why it's 17-3. Now, if they score right here and make it a one-possession game, I think we're going to be looking at an overtime possibility. But they need to take better care of the football.
They could use that goal line stand like you had against the Eagles.
Well, the Patriots are so good on defense, and it seems like Kurt Warner's a little bit out of sync right now.
It does. Thanks, Steve. Back to you guys.
Well, Mooch knows a lot about coaching quarterbacks. I mean, Warner and his quarterback, Jeff Garcia, along with Jay Fiedler in Miami, 3 undrafted free agent quarterbacks.
And remember, he was the quarterback coach to Brett Favre and Mark Brunell and all those guys up in Green Bay as well.
2nd and goal. And it is a touchdown as Kurt Warner straight ahead on the keeper for 6. And the Rams, just like that, are back in the ball game.
I'll know this, that they are not going to give up. And, you know, Willie McGinnis' penalty by holding Marshall Faulk brings me back to last year's Super Bowl when Keith Hamilton grabbed Jamal Lewis of the Baltimore Ravens when Jesse Armstead had a interception nullified on the same type of penalty. So clearly Willie McGinnis knew what was going on. He just wasn't allowed to hold Marshall Faulk the way he did.
9.5 to play, and Wilkins' point after is good. The coach of the 49ers, Steve Mariucci, said it's a one-possession game, and he's right on. 17-10 New England. For every touchdown scored inside the red zone, Dodge donates $500 to the March of Dimes Foundation. Grab life by the horns, Dodge. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One.
Hi, this is Kurt Warner of the St. Louis Rams. All of us at Super Bowl 36 would like to send a special hello and a thank you to all our servicemen and women across the world who are listening on the American Forces Radio Network. We wish you the best and come home safely. God bless you all.
12 plays, 77 yards in just under 7 minutes. The defensive holding penalty on Willie McGinnis, the key. And so instead of a 24-3 Patriot lead, it's 17-10 New England. Here's the kickoff by Wilkins. 5 yards deep. Patrick pass coming up the field to the 10, 15 to the 20, running left, taken down at the 25-yard line. He is taken down by Trung Candidate, who had his moment in the sun earlier in the year when Falk was injured, and he ran for 195 yards against the New York Jets in a blowout victory. 29 yards on the return, and those turnovers, they play such big roles. And we asked Bill Belichick yesterday, you have to play this game to win, or you play it like you're afraid to lose.
And this is where Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, has to play it to win. And what I mean by that, you can't just hand the ball off 3 straight times here and try to give the momentum back to the Rams. You've got to regain the momentum, and the only way you do that is by playing aggressive offensive football.
6-man front, play action. Brady throws it out to the left to Mark Edwards, the fullback, a short pickup. He did throw the ball, although a high percentage pass, and Adam Archuleta, the rookie strong safety from Arizona State, tackling fullback Mark Edwards for only a 2-yard pickup.
Now, a couple things to think about here. A lot of people said that in order for the Patriots to win, the score had to be within the 20s. They couldn't get it into the 30s. The other thing is that the Rams have no timeouts left here in the second half, so they do not have any replay challenges as long as the game clock is outside of 2 minutes.
Brady changing the play at the line and pitches it to Antoine Smith. He juggles it, holds on across the 30, and out to the 33-yard line. Antoine Smith tackled by Aeneas Williams, and we talked so much last week about Aeneas Williams because he was such a big part of the game. But Aeneas Williams, that might be the first time we've even mentioned his name outside of the starting lineups.
You know, the Patriots really haven't thrown that much, and when they have thrown, they've thrown to the other cornerbacks who they've been alternating because those guys haven't been playing so well. So Aeneas has been shown the proper respect.
How big is this third down play?
There are plays during the game that you look back to that if you can make it, will help you win the game or lose the game. And this one right here at 3rd and 2 is huge for Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Patriots only 2 of 9 converted. He takes the direct snap. In trouble. Throws left incomplete, and he had pressure coming. Patrick passed the intended receiver, but there was pressure from Leonard Little, and the Patriots go 3 and out, and Ken Walter comes in to punt with 7:55 remaining, 4th quarter. Patriots 17, Rams 10, and this becomes a huge sequence, and a change of momentum now is on St. Louis's side.
First time I saw Tom Brady all night look indecisive. He did not look very good on that last pass.
Walter takes the snap and gets the kick away, a wobbly kick. Bly fields it at the 15, running left to the 20. Runs back to the right and taken down from behind, close to the 25-yard line by Bucky Jones. So, the one great quote that I'll remember from athletes, and one of them that stands out, there's a flag, by the way, on the play, and I'll find out what that's about first. Holding against St. Louis. That's a post-possession foul, I'm certain. So they'll bring it back. Yeah. I remember one thing that Magic Johnson used to say. At the end of games, he said it's winning time. This is winning time.
It really is, and I saw that Tom Brady on that last pass, Howard, just did not look real sharp. He didn't look decisive. He looked very careful when he threw the ball.
57 of the return team during the kick will assess the penalty from the change of possession, half the distance to the goal, first down.
I mentioned to you in our pregame, we said the keys to the game. Would the Rams try to exploit Brady's inexperience by mixing coverages?
Well, maybe they did on that last one, but it's the first time where the game got really tight and he had to make a play.
17-10 New England. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 36 on Westwood One. Statistically, Kurt Warner out-dueling Tom Brady, but the New England defense has forced 3 turnovers that have led to 17 points. They have the lead, and the Rams deep in their own territory at their own 7-yard line. The Patriots have 6 defensive backs in the ball game. And they have a 4-man front. Falk, the lone setback, standing on the goal line. Kurt Warner under center, takes the snap, looks to the left, throws sideline. And it is incomplete, intended for Torrey Holt, as Otis Smith defending on the play. Let's go to James.
Guys, the Rams love to send a lot of different personnel packages in the game. They're sending in 2 tight ends right now. I think that's a little bit of a mistake because they love to send them in. They then like to shift. They then like to go in motion. All that does is wind the play clock down, and that really does lend into the hands of the New England Patriots because they should be coming out in static sets, ready to go at the snap. Kurt Warner's bleeding this clock down much, much too far.
So now the Rams are faced with a 2nd and 10 from their own 7-yard line. 4-man front for New England. Warner goes back to the goal line, looks to the left with a little time, throws on a rope. It is complete. Inside the 15-yard line at about the 14, Torrey Holt is the receiver, and Roman Pfeiffer stops him from getting yards after the catch. It will bring up a 3rd down and 4 for St. Louis.
You know, I absolutely agree with James Lofton. What is happening here is every time the Rams switch their personnel, then the New England Patriots substitute their personnel. I don't think the Rams really want to play against the New England's nickel defense.
Here's another one of those big moments. 3rd and 3, St. Louis with 7:15 remaining. 17-10 New England. 6-man front for the Patriots. Warner backpedals, looks to the left. With time, he throws. It is complete to Isaac Bruce. It looks like he's got enough for a 1st down. At the 19-yard line of St. Louis, Ty Law drives him from there, but he got enough for a 1st down with a pickup of 5 yards.
And again, a very nice job by the offensive line of the Rams, giving Kurt Warner that extra 2.5 seconds to allow Isaac Bruce to come from the right side of the field running that shallow cross. Now, Howard, the series before this went 6 minutes and 47 seconds, 77 yards for a touchdown for the Rams. I mean, if you're the New England Patriots, that's okay. You just can't let them get those big plays and move down the field quickly.
Warner back, pumps right, looks back to the left, skirts out of danger, now goes back to the left, looks to throw it on the run and just throws it away as he is drilled by Richard Seymour and Willie McGinnis.
Now, if he gets up off the ground here, this guy is as tough as I've seen in the NFL, and he does get up off the ground with his helmet knocked off, and you know, he is just buying time back there. He's moving. Now, he's got to be aware that the down clock is still running. It's about 20 seconds right now on the down clock. He's got to keep moving, but again, I go back to what Bill Belichick told us during the week. Disrupt his first read and get pressure on him, and that's exactly what this defense has been doing to him all afternoon long.
Well, Bill Belichick's defense right now is playing to win rather than trying to stay away from a defeat. They got a 1-touchdown lead. 2nd and 10 as Warner goes back to pass. Sets and throws out to the right, wide open. Ricky Prohl at the 40. And taken out of bounds by Ty Law across the St. Louis 45 to the 48-yard line, and a big play of 30 yards to veteran Ricky Prohl in his 12th year from Wake Forest. Ricky Prohl says we have tremendous role players that make an impact on whether we win or lose, and Prohl is one of those role players for St. Louis.
Well, that time Romeo Crennel decided to come with the blitz. He brought free safety to Bucky Jones, which left Ricky Prohl one-on-one with Ty Law with a lot of cushion. Offensive line again picked up the blitz, and Kurt Warner threw the ball accurately down the field.
Warner again off play action. Looking, pumping once, throws it right, complete to Jeff Robinson, the tight end, who's wrestled out of bounds at the New England 40-yard line. By the way, the completion to Ricky Prohl was the longest play of the day for the St. Louis Rams. Let's go to Doc.
And you know, Howard, if you look closely at this Patriot defense, you see some guys, hands on their hips, tongues hanging out, breathing hard, including the defensive backs. I mean, they're trying to make substitutions, especially in the defensive line, to keep them fresh, but that defense is wearing down now.
That's why it was so important for the Patriot offense to do something with that last series, and they didn't. They didn't help their defense out.
1st and 10, Rams at the 39 of the Patriots, who lead by 7. Warner on the inside handoff, and Marshall Faulk is dropped for no gain by Roman Pfeiffer as we approach the 5-minute mark left in the 4th quarter. Patriots 17, Rams 10. And who would have believed that this would be the score in the 4th quarter of a game involving the St. Louis Rams, particularly when they're on the short end of the score.
Now, I was talking to Hall of Fame inductee this week, Jim Kelly, about his no-huddle offense in Buffalo. It was all about wearing down the defense, slowing down the pass rushers. Just really mind-boggling to me why the Rams don't do that. Because it looks like, as Doc just said, the Patriots defense is very tired.
2nd and 10. Warner backpedals with a lot of time. Flushed out of the pocket, gets away. Now is sacked by Willie McGinnis back at the St. Louis 45-yard line. Pressure from Seymour, and then McGinnis polished him off, and a loss of 16 yards.
Howard, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I might as well because it's been happening all night long. Again, Kurt Warner dropping back, looking for guys open. Nobody is open. They're only rushing 3 guys. So that means that there are 8 guys in the secondary, and Kurt Warner could not navigate these 8 guys on a consistent basis, hence why he's getting pressure.
3rd sack against Warner. 3rd and 25, St. Louis.
Timeout.
And New England spends the timeout. And now, how's this? With 4 minutes left in the ball game, both teams are out of timeouts, but it's more of a problem for St. Louis than it is for New England.
That's an NBA timeout if I've ever seen one right there.
Take a 20.
Take a 20. We got to get a breather over here on the sideline because there's no question that the New England defense is kind of worn out. And this, I think, helps because they get Willie McGinnis back on the field. And, you know, Willie McGinnis might have been vilified in Boston for that penalty where he held Marshall Faulk that led ultimately to a touchdown for St. Louis, but he's come up with some big plays here.
A reminder to stay with us for the Body Solutions post-game show. We'll have the trophy presentation. You'll hear from both winning and losing locker rooms coming up after the game. Marshall Faulk, it's a normal day for Marshall, 130 total yards, but 75 on the ground on 17 carries. That's significant.
I think it is significant, and certainly it goes back to the turnovers here when you're talking about the Rams. Tonight, New England is +3 in the turnover ratio, and you knew that was going to be a big key if they were going to stay in this game, and that's where we are right now with 4:01 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Patriots have their defensive backs 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. We're going to get a flag. We may get encroachment on Richard Seymour, or was he drawn off by Orlando Pace, number 76? Bernie Kukar, the referee, will tell us the outcome of the meeting.
And you go back to the no timeouts left for the Rams.
Neutral zone infraction, 93 defense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I mean, can you imagine? Put yourself in Richard Seymour's position. Here he is, a significant part of the New England Patriots defense, a rookie from Georgia, and playing in the biggest game of the year.
Good for him, but if you're the Rams right here, Howard, this is 2-down territory. You cannot afford to give the ball back to the Patriots because you have no timeouts left.
Good point.
It is 3rd and 20. Yep. You have to get at least half of it back, so on 4th down, you have a legitimate chance to go for it.
From the 50, Warner drops all the way back to the 40. Tries to set and throw out to the left, and it is incomplete. Intended for Torrey Holt and Otis Smith, and Matt Stevens combine on the defense, and the Rams have not. Are they going to punt the ball? Apparently so.
It looks like they're going to punt the ball right here. Now, with no timeouts left, the only real stoppage of clock is the 2-minute warning as long as the Patriots don't go an incompletion or run out of bounds.
Well, meanwhile, keep this in mind. Troy Brown is one of the best punt returners and headed to the Pro Bowl as Baker takes the snap and drives it upfield. Excellent kick. And Troy Brown lets it hit in the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Boy, if you're Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, your heart is beating at a rapid rate. You better have your cardiologist sitting next to you. 3:44 left in the ball game. 17-10 New England. Our Mercedes drive of the game. New England, after the Buckley fumble recovery, goes 5 plays, 40 yards on the David Patton touchdown reception from Tom Brady. Our Mercedes drive of the game brought to you by Mercedes. Be sure to see your certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Okay, how about this one? 3 minutes and 44 seconds left to go. If there is a reviewable play outside of 2 minutes, Mike Martz can't review it. He has no timeouts left.
That's a great point. So Brady under center, pitches to Antoine Smith, eludes a couple of tacklers and gets dropped for a 2-yard loss back at the 18-yard line. Adam Archuleta, talk about rookies in a big spot. He is one of 8 new defensive starters and a new defensive coordinator for St. Louis, Lovie Smith, who, by the way, we hear after this game will receive an interview from the Tampa Bay Bucks for their head coaching job.
Howard, if they get 1 first down right here, I think it's going to be pretty close to having this game over with. Think about this for a second here. Does Charlie Weiss throw it or does he run it? I say he runs it.
Yeah, no question.
Do not throw the ball here.
Which means he's going to throw it. Tom Brady with a long count. Takes the snap and play fakes. Looking right. Throwing it over the middle, complete to Antoine Smith for a short pickup of about 4 yards from the 22-yard line. London Fletcher is there to make the hit. You're enjoying
Charlie
this.
Weiss,
You're
I
having
love
fun,
it.
huh?
I'm telling you, I'm having fun. Clock is running. That's just like a little handoff right there. 30 seconds right now on the down clock. They have to get a first down here. They'll take it all the way down. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think they'll call timeout. They might.
Well, here, New England has won the turnover battle all day. This is the one place in the ballpark where they do not want to turn it over.
Tom Brady's got to allow this down clock to get down underneath 5 seconds before he snaps it.
Down to 5 now, down to 4. Brown in motion to the right, and Brady with a pitch to Antoine Smith running right. To the 20, doubles back and dives forward to the 25-yard line. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. It's 17-10 New England. We've reached the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with low fares and frequent flights. You're listening to exclusive coverage of the NFL Super Bowl on Westwood One. The Rams lost at home on Monday Night Football on November 26th to Tampa Bay, 24-17. Right now they trail 17-10 as Ken Walter gets a low kick away, and it takes a St. Louis bounce, and then a flag is thrown. Well, this is great news for St. Louis as long as the penalty is not against the Rams, because they'll have a short field to operate. But hold on.
It's going to be holding on the Rams, Howard. So they'll attack on 10 yards. It'll be about the 36-yard line, I think. Or maybe I couldn't see where the ball landed on the sideline.
Well, it hit at the 40, and then like a balata ball, it backed up.
Right. It was probably the worst punt of the night for Walter. And you know, when you want your best punt, when you want your offense to show up, New England, those two parts of the team have disappeared here at the end of the game.
I think Ken Walter used the Titleist PV1. It backed up, and the flag is going to go against New England.
Wow.
Wow, this is huge.
Holding 34 of the kicking team. That penalty is declined. First down, St. Louis.
I have
Lucky
never seen that call.
I'm with you. That's an odd call, but either way, the Rams certainly will decline, and they will take over. I mean, right now, you just feel like you sat in a poker game with somebody else's cards, because the St. Louis Rams in a less than a 60-yard field. I mean, how dangerous are they from an 80-yard field? Now they got a 60-yard field to try to tie this game with 1 minute and 50 to go and no timeouts.
All night long, the New England Patriots have been able to come up with a big play. Can they do it one more time?
Actually, a 55-yard field. Warner from the shotgun. Backpedals. Looking to throw. Throws it out to the right. The lead pass to Ozak came at the 50. And down the sidelines is finally out of bounds inside the New England 40-yard line to the 37-yard line. The clock stops with 1:42 remaining after an 18-yard hookup from Warner to Oz Hakim.
Oz Hakim coming all the way from the left side of the field, running a shallow cross. Good pass protection for Kurt Warner.
Seavey steps out of bounds.
Oz Hakim could have come close to stepping out of bounds, did not, and got the extra 10 to 15 yards down the sideline. And all night long, this New England Patriot defense has been bending and bending, and it's only broken once, Howard. Can they come up with the big play? That's the question.
Hakeem Smith catch for 86 yards. This time Warner under center from the New England 37. Goes back to throw. Swings it out to the right. It is complete. Inside the 30 to Yo Murphy. Yo Murphy, a second-year wideout from Idaho who spent some time in the World League, comes up with a big conversion and an 11-yard pickup. It stops the clock with 1:37 remaining. 17-10 New England.
Romeo Crennel deciding to blitz right here, and Kurt Warner very difficult to get to when you blitz him, and he was very adept at reading the blitz, and he hit Yo Murphy, who came out of the halfback spot behind Kurt Warner.
Never been in overtime in Super Bowl history. This could be a first. From the 26 of the Patriots, Warner throws left, wide open, inside the 10-yard line to the 5. Touchdown! Touchdown! St. Louis to Ricky Prohl, and Ricky Prohl raises his right hand in victory as the Rams are a point after away from tying it up
What they do here is they have slot receivers to the left, and I believe it's Torrey Holt. It's actually Isaac Bruce and Ricky Prohl. Isaac Bruce on the outside runs a little slant, and he picks off Terrence Shaw, who was covering Ricky Prohl, and it was a pick pattern. And it was just a little out and up, and Kurt Warner just lays it out there, and Ricky Prohl makes the easy catch.
26-yard touchdown, and Jeff Wilkins with the all-important point after out of the hold of Ricky Prohl, and the point after is good. So we have 1 minute and 30 remaining in regulation time. The Patriots have no timeouts. The Rams likewise. Right here we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is CBS Radio Sports and Westwood One, your home for Super Bowl 36. He is hit down by Sean Moran, the former Buffalo Bill, and the momentum has clearly swung to the players with the Rams horns on their helmet. Once again, we go to James.
Guys, I think Mike Martz did an absolutely fantastic job in play calling for Kurt Warner in the last series. What he did is he gave him plays where he got the ball out of his hands early. Boomer, you pointed out, he was trying to wait too long in the pocket, looking for stuff down the field. That time, Martz had him get rid of the ball quickly. It'll be interesting to see if they take the shackles off of my man Tom Brady here and even let him go for the win.
Well, Brady is going to operate out of a shotgun, James, so we'll see how that plays out. He has 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Minute and 21 remaining in regulation time. Brady back to throw. In trouble. Gets away and dumps it off across the middle. And it is caught by J.R. Redmond out to the 22-yard line. A 5-yard pickup. The Patriots have no timeouts, neither do the Rams, as Leonard Little makes the stop.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can't ask for much more. If you're a quarterback, you're a kid, you want to grow up, this is exactly what you want. A final 2-minute drive to win the Super Bowl.
4-man front. Brady back to throw over the middle, complete to Redmond for a first down at the New England 30-yard line. 50 seconds and counting as Tommy Polley makes the stop after a 9-yard gain, and the Patriots rush to the line of scrimmage. Brady spikes the ball to stop the clock with 41 seconds remaining. So right now, the New England Patriots maybe 35 yards away from a field goal try for Adam Vinatieri for the win in a 17-all game. We have never had overtime in a Super Bowl, and furthermore, no team has ever come from 10 points or more down to win a Super Bowl. The Rams were down by 11 at one point.
I'll talk about the storybook here.
They were down by 14.
Well, Tom Brady is the leader of this storybook here, so he is the guy now in charge of handling this 2-minute drill. He's got to be very careful not to throw picks and be smart.
He takes the shotgun snap. Looking, stepping, throwing it out to the left to J.R. Redmond at the 35. He's to the 40, looking for the sidelines and dives out of bounds and stops the clock. Once again, we go to John Dockery.
You know, I remember that Tom Brady, when he was talking to us, said he used to dream about this as a kid. He used to dream about it, Boomer, of throwing the post over the pulled-up safety for the touchdown to win a Super Bowl. Here he is with a chance to do that.
Well, he's got to be really careful now. 33 seconds. He can still throw the ball in the middle of the field. He has enough time to spike it. Howard, you think he's got to get to about the 42 or 43-yard line to give Vinatieri a chance, a legitimate chance, maybe a little bit further?
50-52, I think he can make that.
Okay.
Shotgun for Brady. Looking at a 6-man Ram front. They're coming after Brady. Rolling right. Throws it out to the right, incomplete, and it was the pressure. And there was a ton of it. Quarterback pressure, Tommy Polley. Quarterback pressure, Sean Moran. Quarterback pressure, Grant Wistrom, and they were chasing the young Brady.
How about this? Lovie Smith dialing up the blitz, the defensive coordinator of the Rams. And what I like here is Tom Brady saw it. He was in the shotgun. He moved away from it and just threw the ball away. Now, he was clearly outside of the tight end tackle box, so he's allowed to do that as a quarterback.
Brady, 14 of 24 for 117 yards, continues to operate out of the shotgun. Second down, 29 seconds left in regulation. We're tied at 17. Brady takes the snap, looks to set up and throw over the middle, complete to Troy Brown at the 40, and gets out of bounds near the 35. Adam Archuleta forces him out there, but the big play, Troy Brown, comes through with a 23-yard connection and stops the clock with 21 seconds remaining. And right now, Vinatieri is pretty close to a field goal, although it would be lengthy.
Well, his career long is 55. This looks like it could be a 56-yard field goal if they line up from this point. But, you know, the one thing here, 21 seconds. Tom Brady has more than enough time to throw the ball in the middle of the field on first down still get up there and clock it and give Adam Vinatieri enough time to attempt a field goal. Don't be surprised if he hands it off here.
Brady instead backpedals, throws over the middle, complete to Jermaine Wiggins, and dropped at the 30-yard line with 16, with 15, with 14.
Just take your time here. Let the clock run down. Nice and easy. Be poised.
Brady takes the snap.
And that's what he's doing.
It with 007 left on the clock. And Adam Vinatieri walks out onto the field. And Ken Walter, the holder, and the New England Patriots will have what it looks to be about a 47-yard try for Adam Vinatieri for the lead with 7 seconds remaining. They'll probably put it down at about the 38 or 48-yard drive.
Well, this kind of brings me back to 1991, and then the Buffalo Bills had a chance to win it. James, what do you think?
Hey, this is making me eerily crazy. I guess I hope he makes it this time.
Is it Adam Vinatieri or Scott Norwood? Placement down by Walter. Vinatieri's field goal try for the win is good. It's good. It's good. And the New England Patriots have won Super Bowl 36.
What a tremendous finish by Tom Brady, the Cinderella story of the NFL this year. And who does he hit? His big play guy, Troy Brown, to get him down into field goal range. He handled a 2-minute drill magnificently with no timeouts. And at the end of the game, he hits Jermaine Wiggins to give Adam Vinatieri the extra yardage he needs. And calmly, and I mean ever so calmly, walks up to the line of scrimmage, spikes the ball, and he gives Adam Vinatieri a chance to win the Super Bowl. What a great season for Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the New England Patriots.
Adam Vinatieri now falls into the same category with Jim O'Brien of the Baltimore Colts. Super Bowl V, 1971. The Baltimore Colts beat the Dallas Cowboys at a game-winning field goal by Jim O'Brien. The only Super Bowl until today decided by a field goal. Can you believe it? The New England Patriots 0-2 at the start. 5-11 last year.